creating a respectful, safe and inclusive environment for staff and students. Some conservationists are highlighting the urgency of controlling rapid population growth. Sustainable Population Australia warns an increasing population will continue to warm the planet and drive other living organisms to extinction. Spokesperson Michael Bayliss says despite other countries leading the globe's population trends, Australia is in a crisis of its own.
We've increased our population by 8 million since the Sydney 2000 Olympics. And we're growing by the size of a new MCG every couple of months.
The search for missing German backpacker Karlina Verlager will be stepped up in WA today after her missing van was found bogged along a track. The 26-year-old has been missing for almost 2 weeks. She was last seen in the remote town of Beacon, around 300 k's northeast of Perth. Air and ground searches will now be concentrated on the rocky terrain in the remote area. A 61-year-old Palestinian woman has been detained after having her home raided in Sydney's west. Toby Goff reports.
Maha Al-Masri, a refugee from Gaza, has been taken from her Bankstown home and placed in immigration detention after her bridging visa was revoked. The Telegraph reports the order was signed by Assistant Immigration Minister Julian Hill, citing an adverse security assessment by ASIO, adding she posed a risk to national security and failed the visa's character test. Al-Masri's family is strongly denying the allegations, calling the move cruel and unjust. The move comes as the federal government ramps up measures to counter anti-Semitism, including new visa screening proposals.
The AFL and the MCG have handed down a sanction to the man who threatened Carlton coach Michael Voss. Alex Riddell reports.
Collingwood Football Club says it will not tolerate threats of any kind after it was revealed one of its members was responsible for sending what the AFL has described as a highly inappropriate and threatening message to Carlton coach Michael Voss. The AFL has banned the Collingwood member from attending AFL and AFLW games for 5 years. The MCG has also issued a separate 5-year ban for all events at the venue. The person who sent the message to the MCG Antisocial Behaviour Hotline reportedly said, "I'd like to report 23 missing persons and preemptively report the murder of Michael Voss." It's understood the AFL didn't invoke a lifetime ban because Victoria Police didn't interpret the message as a genuine threat, but an inappropriate football sledge.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Corey Norris.
Good morning, Jess, and things don't get any better for Michael Voss. His Blues going down to Brisbane by 37 points with Charlie Curnow held goalless for the 4th match in a row. Lions midfielder Josh Dunkley won the Robert Walls medal after finishing with 31 disposals and 13 tackles. Vice-captain Hugh McCluggage full of praise for his teammate.
He's awesome. There's no one that deserves a bit of credit and a medal more than him. I think he's just one of those players that gives that every week. He'll always be pressuring, always be tackling, and he makes our job a lot easier in there. He's just a beast, and I love playing with him.
The Crows have dropped Brodie Smith and Lockie Murphy for tomorrow's clash against the Western Bulldogs. Chase Jones, Wayne Millerer and Braden Cook come into the side. The AFL wants Australia's fastest man to run at the grand final. Herald Sun is reporting 17-year-old Gout has been approached to take part in the traditional halftime sprint race. American Amanda Anisimova has upset world number 1 Arina Sabalenka to set up a Wimbledon final with Iga Swiatek.
Yeah, I feel amazing. I mean, it's so exciting to be in the final here. And yeah, I think I still can't believe it in a way.
She's the youngest American woman to reach the final since Serena Williams in 2004. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Corey. Now the 5AA forecast. Showers and 16 today, mostly sunny and 18 tomorrow. Showers increasing and 17 for Sunday. More showers and 13 for Monday. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Built for Australia, built for adventure. Looking for your next big escape? Snowy River Adelaide has arrived in Valley View, your local home for award-winning caravans built for adventure and unbeatable value. Whether you're upgrading or just starting out, your journey begins at Snowy River Adelaide. Explore the stunning range today. Visit snowyriveradelaide.com.au or better yet, drop by 817 North East Road, Valley View. Snowy River Adelaide, where your journey begins.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. Lately I've had a lot of people asking about the federal battery rebate, what it is, how it works and whether they're eligible. At BJ Energy, we've done the homework. Our job is to help you make the most of the rebate while it's still around. So if you're thinking about solar or a home battery, or just have any questions about the federal battery rebate, it's easy to get in touch with us. No sales pitch, just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttyres.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
Gutters are mostly out of sight, out of mind, until they start leaking. Replacing them can cost a fortune, but for under $10 a metre, you can reline them yourself with Guts' DIY relining kit. It's easy, waterproof, built to last and backed by a whopping 10-year warranty. No trades, no drama, no massive cost. Just a smart fix you can do yourself. Watch the video at guttsa.com.au.
Nothing can be finer than Guts Gutter Liner.
At Coles, get great value on fruit and veg this week. Like delicious Australian Hass avocados, 2 for just $3.50. In store and online at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Yes, good morning and welcome to the Adelaide Central Market. That's where we are this morning, celebrating Bastille Day. It is just opening up the Central Market. It's looking absolutely sensational. Love the smells and all the people getting ready to work and the coffee. You can smell the aroma of the warm coffee coming through. It is just delightful. We are here until 9 o'clock. We'd love for you to come along and say g'day, grab a coffee and give us your thoughts and check us out here at the Adelaide Central Market as I welcome in my co-host for the week and again next week. We're having an absolute ball. I'm talking about Jade Robran. Good morning, Jade.
Bonjour.
Oh, very good.
That's about as far as it goes, though. Or I can do comsi com ça, which means so-so. So hopefully it's not a comsi com ça show. And we have an absolute ball here today.
Well, the only other one...
so early, the coffee hasn't even started brewing yet.
I know. Well, the only one I could say, I was going to chip in is Je m'appelle Tom.
Oh, my name is Tom.
I think that's it.
Did you do about a year of French at school?
I think it was 1 year.
So you do a year and then they put you into Italian and it all sounds very similar, doesn't it? But the food does not.
No, exactly. The food is delicious. So come on down here. There's so much to check out today. They're doing a stack of activations here as part of Bastille Day, and it's happening today and tomorrow, Jade. There's walking tours, there's cooking demonstrations, there's crepes, all of that. Croissants,
I love crepes.
Baguettes,
I love
beautiful.
Nutella crepes with sliced banana and sliced strawberries in it. So if anyone's listening right about now, that'd be good for brekkie.
You could just drop one off to Jade and she'll demolish that maybe in one of the ad breaks.
I wouldn't mind. But also a great place to come down for school holidays. It's the first week of school holidays. Parents, carers, grandparents, I hope that you're all surviving. Kids free craft and face painting over the weekend down here as well. As you said, cooking demonstrations. One of my favourites will be the French wine pop-up, and we all know French wine is delicious champagne, so that's a bit delicious. But Bastille Day, I guess it's like America's 4th of July, like our Australia Day. It's their national holiday. It's celebrated on the 14th of July every year. It commemorates the storming of the Bastille prison on July 14, way back in 1789, which marked a very pivotal moment in the French Revolution. So the event, it symbolises the end of the monarchies
absolute power and the beginning of a new era of liberty and equality. As I sound very smart, but I'm actually reading it off to Google.
No, well, that's good. It's nice to, enlighten me and enlighten all of the listeners out there.
But that is why we're here.
Yeah.
That is exactly what Bastille Day is. I feel like my arm's been chopped off. I've left my phone at home.
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
And normally I thought I'd be all right with that because you're the one that's addicted to your phone.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, I'm not coping. I'm not all right with it at all.
Well, I have already put in a text message on your behalf to Ben, who's probably going to see something pop up and go, what is Tom Wren doing bothering me at this time in the morning?
No,
but I've said, mate,
that's my bloody wife.
Your
what
lovely
has she
wife.
Forgotten?
She needs her phone. Please bring it down.
Do you know why? Because I was binging White Lotus last night in bed and I couldn't put it down.
What series are you up to?
Only 2.
Oh,
I've got onto it very, very late. So at the moment I'm holidaying in Sicily.
Okay, well, the next one is in Thailand. So, and do you know now, so as part of this show, and for those that haven't seen it, White Lotus, it's based at these luxurious hotels and, some
with
crazy
people
stuff.
with way too much money, and with way too much money brings very big head noises.
Big problems.
They're
and
crazy people.
But because the show's so popular and it still showcases these amazing hotels, essentially, Thailand was chosen because the government put in a bid for the producers and the show to go there, and now there's huge bidding wars between countries because they want them to come to their hotels, and it's become really popular. So the next one, I think, season 4, I'm jumping ahead, there's talk that it could be at a ski resort, so maybe in one of the Nordic countries, because all of them have been at these beautiful summer-type resorts.
Yeah.
But the hotels off the back of White Lotus, the shows, they become really popular.
Well, that makes perfect sense because it's absolutely beautiful.
They're stunning.
But I look at them and I'm like, no one could ever afford to stay there.
I know, and the people aren't so nice in the shows, but the show itself is brilliant. I'm glad you're into it.
Well, there you go. Well, yeah, that's the reason why I don't have my phone. Do you know something that's caught my eye this morning? Do you remember, cast your memory back to when that absolute moron of a woman came over to Australia and stole the baby wombat off its mother?
Oh, yes,
remember that? That was awful.
At worst, you would say... At best, I should say, you would say she was naive. At worst, it was just really
No, she's fair dinkum an idiot. A mean idiot. If you see a baby animal with its mother and you think it's a good idea to rip it away, you're a flog.
Yeah,
off you go.
It was poor form.
So anyway, another idiot has come to town. A Canadian influencer has done the same thing, but with a baby crocodile.
Well,
it's a shame it didn't snap its hand off.
I was going to say, that's pretty dangerous, I would have thought.
So this guy is a 27-year-old from Canada, as I said. He's got 16 million followers, and he's now deleted it, thank goodness, but too little too late, because as we know with social media, someone quickly captures it and sends it out to everybody. So it'll be very interesting to see if he gets booted out of the country like this woman did as well. But he spotted the baby croc in fresh water and he holds it up by its neck for the camera as it's thrashing around. It's certainly not happy, and it goes, "Hey guys, I'm in Australia right now and we just yoinked a freshwater croc." I don't think he's happy about it because he started making these sounds like a chainsaw, or maybe that's just the sound they make when they decide to cry, like a little bee ending in a ch. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, put the croc back.
Stupid.
And off you go. So he's hoping today, by the end of it, they find who this moron is and he's on the first plane out of here.
Exactly right. Jade, we are up and about. We've got a big show today as well.
We do.
From the Adelaide Central Market. We're going to be talking to a few people down here as we celebrate Bastille Day, but we're also going to be talking plenty of football with Timmy Ginniver. Jack Lukosius is going to join us. So
Jack's back.
What a great game he had last week. I know Port lost, but they had a few really significant injuries and he was a bit of a shining light for
Well, he gave us a teeny tiny glimpse of what we've missed all season, really.
Yeah. And he just takes the pressure off Mitchell Jade. So looking forward to him coming and joining us. We'll talk federal politics with Michael Packey, being another big week. We're going to get some smelly cheese discussion a little bit later with the Central Market, so can't wait for that. And some historic number plates are going to go under the hammer over the next week or so. So
they
looking
fetch
forward.
Sometimes over $1 million.
It's insane.
I don't get that.
No,
How is that
either.
an investment?
It's
We'll learn why it is an investment a little bit later on. But
we need to broaden our horizons maybe and find out why people are spending this money. Maybe too much money again.
Way too much money. I used to work for a guy in Melbourne and he collected them. And I think he had a 5 or something random like that.
Right.
And he bought it, or his dad bought it for him as a gift. And I think it was $100,000 way back then. And it's nearing $1 million. And I said, would you ever sell it? No way.
Too much.
That's a house.
Yeah.
Sell the thing. Why?
It's all relative, I suppose, isn't it? But yeah, it seems insane. It's Meat Tray Friday today as well, so we'll get a topic going very shortly too, Jade. Looking forward to that. It is 16 minutes past 6 o'clock. We are up and about here on 5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Discover the heart of river cruising with Phil Hoffman Travel and Ama Waterways Grand Collection. Cruise the world's legendary rivers from the Danube and Rhine to the Mekong and Nile, with savings of up to $9,600 per couple, plus return flights from Adelaide. Enjoy award-winning luxury, locally sourced gourmet cuisine and fine wines, daily guided tours, wellness programs, enriching shore excursions, expert guides and more. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel today or visit pht.com.au.
Why are we here? What is the nature of reality? Do I really need all that data to listen to history podcasts?
Huzzah! Question everything!
Especially your telco plan. Get the data you need at low prices with Aldi Mobile.
Fair to say we all have a bit of clutter at home and in the workplace as well, Tom.
And Jade, thankfully, clutter and mess, it's simply no match for Sharman Shelving. Now, imagine a space where everything has its place and it's easy to access. Sharman Shelving just makes life so much easier.
Bill, George or Christine, they'll come to your home, your office, workshop or your shed. They'll measure it up, they'll design it, deliver and assemble the perfect storage solution in a great range of colours to suit any decor.
And everyone needs a little Sharman in their life. I know I definitely do. So call into 412 Northeast Road at Windsor Gardens and take a look for yourself. In fact, their showroom and office is now next door in the big white building, so make sure you enter via Albert Street. You can jump online as well at sharmanshelving.com.au or just take a look on Facebook.
Drive away with a bargain this winter at Camper Agent RV Supercentre. Receive up to $5,000 of bonus value on cashbacks, fuel vouchers and free extended warranties on selected top brands. Shop from Winnebago, Windsor, Corrimal and Hitchhiker. With the largest selection of certified pre-owned RVs available nationally. We're your one-stop shop for new and used caravans, camper vans, motorhomes and more. Hurry while stocks last. Visit Camper Agent RV Supercentre, Parafield Gardens.
Barnacle Bill's Bounty Pack. Fish, prawns, calamari, spring rolls, chips and tartare sauce and a 1.25 litre Coke, just $35.
Fresh from the sea, it's gotta be Barnacle Bill.
It's Christmas in July at Wayville Hyundai. With every car delivered this month, we'll donate $100 straight to the Salvation Army Red Shield Appeal, so your new Hyundai helps Aussies in need. Plus, we're inviting you to join us by popping a donation under our Christmas tree so we can pass it on to Salvation Army. Head to our website to see how you can help make a difference. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au and change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai.
Feeling the calm of the ocean, making it to my daughter's wedding, lunch with the grandkids. This is palliative care. From the time you or a loved one is diagnosed with a life-limiting illness, Palliative Care Connect can provide you with information and links to palliative care and emotional support services across South Australia. Learn more at palliativecareconnect.com.au. Palliative Care Connect is supported by funding from the Australian Government Department of Health and Aged Care.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube. It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Yeah, 21 minutes past 6 o'clock. It is Friday, July 11th. We are at the Adelaide Central Market today. We're celebrating Bastille Day, so come down and say g'day, grab a coffee, and we'd love to see you. Jade, we've got plenty of sports talk in a moment, but before we get to that, there's been a bit of an alarming rise in the amount of fires, battery fires, that have been sparked by lithium batteries, which is a real concern.
Yeah, and you find lithium batteries a lot in e-scooters. My two have got an e-scooter, and I must admit, I keep them outside now. They were inside until I saw all these news reports of these e-scooters just combusting and people's houses nearly burning down. And we saw yesterday the Minister, Andrea Michael, this is something very close to her heart as well, because the same thing happened to her. So there is a warning as we go into the, well, it's still all year round. we're on scooters, aren't we? Joining us now to talk about this is from the MFS Chief Officer Jeff Swan. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you this morning, Jade and Tom?
We are fantastic. But these lithium batteries, I mean, they literally just explode sometimes, don't they?
Well, look, certainly the batteries are part of our everyday lives. We know that they're in anything from our phones to scooters and laptops and mobility devices like e-bikes. Our fire investigators, we have seen a really increased number, but the overwhelming majority of these lithium-ion battery fires are a result of human error. So they're not due to equipment faults or malfunctions. They're due to the people not using them correctly. So it's not using the right charger, overcharging them, or modification. People modifying the devices to try to get more performance out of their e-bike or their scooter.
Jeff, that's a really good point that you make, the human error side of things. I was going to ask, is there a battery life, if you like, when you should change things over? But it sounds like most of these fires, in your experience, are a result of, misuse.
No, that is absolutely correct, Tom. So we would just really urge all the listeners to follow manufacturer's instructions, never modify or tamper with a battery. Always use correct battery and charger. Just because one plugs in doesn't mean it's the right, voltage and, output. So make sure you use the correct charger and always dispose of old batteries responsibly. Contact your council for an e-waste recycling facility.
So what happens if you do use a dodgy battery? Because sometimes you go to the $2 shop and they're there and you're like, oh, cool, I'll grab a couple of batteries. They're obviously a big no-no, but what's the perfect storm? What's the bad combo that works together there?
Look, the bad combo from what our investigators have found is when people, like you say, buy a battery like that to generally try to boost performance or just to replace the battery, and they just haven't checked that the battery's the right one for the charger or it's not compatible with the piece of equipment. So it ends up being a battery used with the incorrect charger. It generally would overcharge in those environments, and that's when we run into issues and these devices can overheat. And once they overheat, they can get a chemical reaction and get into a thermal runaway where they just can't control the amount of heat. They get hotter and hotter until they eventually can combust and explode, yes.
And how quickly can that happen?
Oh, look, we have seen that happen fairly quickly. It varies from device to device, but it certainly can happen really quickly. And once they actually do overheat, it is an absolute runaway, a thermal runaway it's called. So we would then encourage people, don't try to put the fire out. Call 000, evacuate the area and close the door behind you. The fumes and vapours that these products release are incredibly toxic, so don't try to put them out. Close the door behind you so they're contained and evacuate. But if you take the right precautions early on and follow manufacturer's instructions, don't modify or tamper, make sure you've got working smoke alarms, it won't be a problem.
It's great advice. And Jeff, it's a fairly commonplace that you see these types of fires, or becoming more commonplace as more people get the lithium batteries?
Yeah, look, the MFS responded to just 4 of these in 2019. Mm-hmm. Last year we projected that we would have 40. I haven't got the final statistic for the year, but when we did some media in the middle of the year, it was projected to be 40. We're at 39 statewide already this year. Wow. So we're seeing a 10-fold increase in the last 5 years.
Yeah, that is a significant increase, isn't it? Well, Jeff, thanks so much for coming on this morning and just, I guess, enlightening the listeners and us as well as to, some of the perils that can happen and just how people should go about things to ensure they're fully safe all of the time. Really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Jeff Swan there, the MFS Chief Officer, talking about those lithium battery fires. And like you said, Andrea Michaels, who sent out the release, it was something that happened to her. So it can easily happen, can catch people off guard. So you just have to make sure.
That'd be toxic. It'd be so toxic.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, let's talk some sport.
Yeah, let's do that. And we will
Brizzy
do it.
ran over Carlton last night. I thought Carlton, for that first half, I was like, oh, not too bad. They're keeping up with them. But then Brizzy just proved they're way too good.
Too good. All thanks to Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au. You spot on. I thought Carlton had a dip, but Brisbane you could see the golf in class, couldn't you? Just a better team, well run, and it feels to me, Jade, and you love your football, you watch it as much as I do, just feels like they are building towards the finals now. It feels like a side
they'll be right up there.
They were going in second gear, just sort of easing their way through it. Let's not get injured. You know, it's a couple of flat performances, but I reckon now they're about to go to a whole new gear again. They just look dangerous, and they cruised really to a 37-point win. And Carlton, where to now? The other issue...
But interestingly, I didn't think they dropped their heads.
No, they didn't. They had a crack.
They had a crack,
Absolutely.
and they're still playing for Vossi.
Yep.
And I think that's really important. I think everybody was watching them to see, okay, after the couple of weeks that they've had, especially this week, are they going to, implode? And they didn't.
They didn't. I think the issue for Carlton, or as far as I can tell anyway, is their top 6 or 7 players, outstanding. I know Charlie Curnow was goalless again, but he was working hard up the ground. Cripps, we know, Hewitt, Chera, Wiedering. But their bottom 5 or 6, they just really struggle. It's that difference in class between their best half a dozen and their last half a dozen in that side. It's just too big, and the connection just struggles. You're spot on. I think they had a massive crack. They're not in the same class as Brisbane. Brisbane are just so much better.
Another headline from that story is the umpires, the 4 umpires.
Getting in the way.
Within the first half, there were 3 collisions, and it cost Carlton a goal very early on. I think there's going to be a lot of chitty-chat about that there's just too many out there on the field. You can't be running into the corridor where that's exactly where the umps were. That's exactly where the players want to get the ball to the forward line. Collisions are going to happen.
Yeah, and Brad Scott spoke about the fact the umpire should stay out of the corridor, and you're right, that absolutely cost them a goal in the first quarter, and the crowd was filthy, and rightly so. Look, it was an accident, of course, but it just shouldn't be happening.
Can an ump get a fine?
Well, that's a really good point. I'm not sure.
I don't know if they can.
I don't think
Probably
they can.
Not.
I don't think they would. But, yeah, it's something that shouldn't be happening, and it could prove really costly in a really big game, and it definitely cost the Blues a goal last night. Just in terms of other football news, Jade, the Crows, they've made a few changes for tomorrow. Brodie Smith's been dropped. Lockie Murphy also. Josh Rochelle, we know, was injured. A couple of surprise inclusions. Wayne Miller is not a surprise. He's back, which is great. Braden Cook and Chase Jones, they haven't played all year. So they're in the side. That's really surprising. So that's interesting for what the Crows have done. That's the match of the round for me. The Bulldogs and the Crows tomorrow. That could shape the top 4. Let's see if the Crows can win this one. I think the Doggies have to be favourites, but if the Crows can win, my goodness, the lid will be belting off. It'll be bursting off at West Lakes. And the Power, only a squad, so they'll trim that back later today. They have lost, though, we know. Dante Vicentini, Sam Palpepper, Asava Radikalia, all out injured. 6 inclusions. It will be back to 3 later today. Will Lorenz, Rory Atkins, Manny Liddy, Logan Evans, Ollie Lord and Ivan Soldo. So we'll have those teams a little bit later today with Rowie and Timmy G. And some Wimbledon as we wrap up. The women's finalists are decided. And a big upset in one of the semi-finals. Amanda Anisimova has upset Arina Sabalenka, the world number 1.
Whoa.
Beat her 6-4, 4-6, 6-4. So that's a huge result. The 13th seed is going to play against Iga Swiatek, who demolished Belinda Bencic 6-2, 6-love. So you would think that Swiatek will be the strong favourite, but a great result for Amanda Anisimova. She is, I think, the youngest American in some time to make it through to Wimbledon, the
and
final.
Have we got Joker and Sinner? Is that coming up?
Semi-final tonight.
Oh, that's tonight.
It's going to be huge. 23 years of age she is, Anisimova, but can't wait for tonight. Sinner and Djokovic, that will be massive.
I do like watching those two.
Who are you going for there?
I like the Joker. I know that goes against everybody because most people don't like him. I just think he's all class.
It's the greatest of all time.
Oh, man. Watching him play and how he moves at his age, I love watching the Joker.
No, fair enough.
And then when he retires, I'll be Team Sinner.
Well, I'm in a tipping comp and I went for Sinner, so I'm going to say Yannick Sinner. But that's okay. We'll agree to disagree on that one. That's all the sport for now for Glarnerol Garage Doors. Let's head across to the newsroom. Jessica Adamson, and with her, with all of the sport, is Corey Norris.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 today. With the 6:30 news, I'm Jess Adamson.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
A man's been arrested after stabbing a stranger at Eastwood last week. A 44-year-old man was found with stab wounds to his back on Greenhill Road last Saturday morning. The suspect, a 20-year-old, fled the scene but was arrested at a Kensington Park home yesterday. He'll face the Adelaide Magistrates Court today, charged with aggravated assault causing harm. The RAA is urging e-scooter riders to get familiar with new road rules and speed limits before they become legal from Sunday. Privately owned e-scooters, e-skateboards and e-solo wheels will be permitted on some roads, shared paths and footpaths, but those using them must follow the rules, including a speed limit of 25 k's an hour on roads, 10 k's an hour on footpaths, wearing a helmet and being 16 years of age. Anyone breaking the rules could be fined up to $2,500 and lose demerit points. An environmental group believes population growth is one of the primary causes of climate change. This World Population Day, Sustainable Population Australia is highlighting family planning as a human right. Spokesperson Michael Baylor says growth rates have spiralled out of control.
The growth of human population has been at the expense of just about every single other living species, and that can only lead to collapse and disaster unless we take affirmative action.
More than 25% of young adults have reported being sunburnt in the last 4 weeks. The Cancer Institute surveyed more than 11,000 young people. Half reported regular sun exposure and about 70% were pro-tanning. The search for a missing backpacker will be stepped up today after her van was found bogged along a track in a remote area of Western Australia's wheat belt. Philippa Ma reports.
26-year-old German Carolina Vilga hasn't been seen since June 29. That was when she was captured on CCTV footage at the Beacon General Store in the remote wheat belt around 300 kilometres northeast of Perth, along with her Mitsubishi van. In a breakthrough yesterday afternoon, the van was found broken down and abandoned on a track in the Karoon Hill Nature Reserve, 85 kilometres from the town. There was no sign of Miss Vilga. Police will now be concentrating resources around the rocky terrain with fixed-wing aircraft and drones searching for Miss Vilga from the air and SES personnel on the ground.
Dozens of construction workers have made it to safety after the tunnel they were boring beneath Los Angeles collapsed. They were more than 100 metres underground at almost 10 k's from the entrance when the cave-in occurred. All 31 are accounted for. A Ukrainian intelligence officer has been shot dead in Kiev as Russia continues its attacks on Ukraine. Europe correspondent Hannah Sinclair.
More than 1,000 people, including dozens of children, sought refuge in one of Kyiv's metro stations as Russia launched yet another major missile and drone attack. Ukraine's president says the strikes lasted nearly 10 hours and that 18 missiles and 400 drones were used to attack Kyiv and other regions. And a criminal investigation has been launched after a Ukrainian intelligence officer was assassinated in Kyiv. Footage shows the officer leaving his apartment before being shot dead by a gunman using a silenced pistol.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Good morning, Corey Norris.
Good morning, Jess. Charlie Curnow's goalless run has extended to a fourth game. The star forward failed to register a major as the Blues lost to the Lions by 37 points last night. Under pressure, Carlton coach Michael Voss says Curnow is making progress as he finds his way back into form.
Launched himself at the ball, took a couple of really strong grabs, and he'd be frustrated he's not hitting the scoreboard the way that he wants to, and we'd obviously love for him to be able to do that. But from the last month, I think he sort of presented down the line for us, put himself in really strong contested positions.
Gout could be part of the AFL's grand final entertainment this year. Jordan Tunbridge reports.
The AFL wants Australia's fastest man to run at the grand final. Herald Sun is reporting Gout has been approached to take part in the traditional halftime sprint race. Already drawing comparisons to Usain Bolt, the 17-year-old has become a household name and is on the verge of breaking the 10-second barrier over 100 metres. He's set to compete at the Athletics World Championships in Tokyo just days out from footy's biggest day.
Australian Rinky Hijikata will play for the men's doubles title at Wimbledon after an upset win over the number one seeds. Hijikata said he'd never met his Dutch partner David Pell before the tournament. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Corey. Now the 5AA forecast. Showers and 16 today, mostly sunny and 18 tomorrow. Showers increasing and 17 for Sunday, more showers and 13 for Monday. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
And we're so excited to be down here at the Adelaide Central Market celebrating Bastille Day. It is just beautiful down here. We are loving it. Everything's starting to wake up. People are starting to come in here too. And Jade, one of the things that we love about Fridays is it's Meat Tray Friday, Bastille Day at the Adelaide Central Markets. So we need to throw a topic out there because we've got a beautiful meat tray to give away, all thanks to Barossa Fine Foods.
Yes, who are here at the market, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
I love their frits.
Oh, I love fried frits. How good. I love fried
Oh, yeah,
frits.
you've got a weird combo with that. What do you do with it?
With that and fried bread.
Yeah, the bread. That's right.
Yeah,
I knew that there was a weird combo.
In milk, and I put it in milk.
Right.
It's like, and then you fry it in the
Oh,
frying pan.
no. Okay, we're going to talk weird combos, actually. That's always a good one.
But
that sounds disgusting. Anyway, we digress, but it is Meat Tray Friday, and we thought our phoner topic today could be, what can't you live without? Because I've come here very unprepared. I have forgotten my phone, and I'm normally a little bit of an over-preparer, so I'll look at our rundown that Paddy gives us every morning, and I'll do a couple of notes and questions. I don't have anything. I'm flying blind this morning and it doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah.
You have your phone attached to you all the time. I feel like if I was to take that away from you for 5 minutes, the heart rate would go, the cold sweats would come out. So we're going to ask today, what can you not live without?
Give us a call, folks. 8223 0000 is the number. All thanks to Barossa Fine Foods, providing a tray worth $150, which could include some French-inspired meats if you so choose. Speaking of a French flavour, we have got someone with us right now from FIVEAA Crepes, who is here to celebrate Bastille Day. The owner, Caroline, is with us. I've just had a couple.
I'm going to bring it over. If you have a look on the live stream,
they are
these delicious crepes.
Smell amazing. Butter and sugar. Oh, my goodness. Caroline.
Bonjour.
Good morning to you. Bonjour.
Bonjour. And Caroline is French.
She is French.
Yes.
Whereabouts are you from, Caroline?
I was born in Paris, but then I grew up on the southwest coast of France, which is near Bordeaux. So this is like a wine region, and then we've got this hugest little harbour, which is called Bastille, which is very famous for his oysters and all of his nice products. The little town I'm from is called La Tasse de Bouche, so hello back home. And it's a beautiful part of the country. So it's the Atlantic side. It's very much so like here, big long stretches of beach, beautiful surfing. Yeah.
So
gorgeous.
Today being Bastille Day for you, can you explain to us the significance of it and what it means to you and how you'll be celebrating today?
Well, Bastille was back in 1789. This is back then where we had kings and queens. This is back then when the country was all about monarchy and, looking... You've all seen, like, Marie Antoinette, the movies and everything. But people weren't really exactly living the dream back then. And I think at the time people had enough and they actually rose. Bastille Day was actually the day where people needed their weapons, their ammunitions. Bastille was a building where all of this was actually stored. And that one day, people took it over and got all of their weapons and all their ammunitions, and this is when they could actually, I guess, take over. Yeah, overturn. Yeah, this is that day where they got the gunpower, to actually get rid of kings and queens, and this was the beginning of democracy, I guess, the way that we see it. But I mean, nowadays it's just the national day. So what do? We go out, we drink good wines in the streets, Australia, because we do drink wine in the streets back home, not behind little fences. And fireworks and good food and usually good time. 14th of July back home is middle of summer. So it's usually a beautiful, sunny, warm evening of celebrations.
Well, it's a heat wave at home at the moment, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well,
wow.
I think I just got my phone just told me it was 20 degrees in Paris this last night. So that actually cooled down a little bit, which is really good. But yeah, Bastille Day is not so much more than just firework, a day off, celebration of the country. It is now, because this is the day that people overturn the monarchy. Yeah.
And do you get back to France very often? Or?
I try to go every year.
Lovely.
I'm actually going this year in September because my best friend's getting married.
Oh.
And he's made me his witness, the person I'm going to sign the paperwork. I think he did this so he made sure. So I could actually, I would actually come. It's like, you have to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably because you make really good crepes as well, and he wants you to do the breakfast at the after party.
Well, he's actually forbid me from cooking. He said, no, you're not allowed. But
let's talk about these delicious crepes. Now, I'm going to hold them up here. If you can have a look, they smell divine. What's delicious in French?
Délicieux.
Délicieux.
Very
Délicieux.
Yeah.
All right, Tom, you're our resident taste tester with everything in this world.
Right.
So talk us through these flavours.
See here, you guys, we just made you a butter and sugar because it is quite early in the morning. Butter and sugar is just the perfect combination of it is salted butter as per tradition. We only use salted butter. So a bit of a sweet savoury taste. Our crepes are traditional in the way that they actually contain lots of eggs, lots of milk, lots of flavouring. So we use flavours such as vanilla essence and orange blossom. And butter and sugar is just the best.
Do you use caster sugar?
No.
What sugar do you use?
I only use raw sugar.
Okay.
We very much so at FIVEAA Crepes & Co. we believe that we should be eating a certain way today in 2025. Get rid of all the refined stuff. Get rid of all the seed oil. So we only cook on butter. No oil at all in our cooking. Raw sugar. Only very wholesome ingredients.
It's really nice, isn't it? It does feel very natural, goes down so easily. And for people at home that are perhaps thinking they want to have a crack at making a crepe, is it easy to do?
Yeah, well, there's recipes online. Then you need a good pan. And then the hot tip is you got to get your pan really hot and then let it cool down a little bit. So you want to get it smoking, then turn the gas down a little bit, or the induction or whatever you have at home, and get it a little bit less hot so that the temperature is just right. If you're too hasty, like all of us are, trust me, the first couple are always bad, then it just won't sizzle it. It won't give it that nice, caramelized colour because there is a bit of sugar in the butter, so the sizzling on the plate actually gives it that nice colour.
And Caroline, for those that want to come down here and check you out, you're a little pop-up here for the next couple of days. So where do they need to come?
So we ride across from Sisi, the seafood restaurant, in the producer in residence. This is our last week, so we've been here 3 weeks already, which has flown by very quick. And we'll be here until tomorrow. And we've got the whole crepes and galettes, because I also made you a galette today.
Yeah, so that's an egg inside there.
Yes, so this is a traditional complex. So this is made with buckwheat flour.
Right.
So buckwheat flour is an ancient plant, which is not a grain. So this is naturally gluten-free, full of antioxidants and full of protein. And this is very good on the metabolism. This is very good on the guts.
So this one is a savoury, obviously.
Yes.
And you eat it just like that? You don't add anything to it?
No, usually not. You can have, if you go to the restaurant, you can have a little salad or a little French fries. But the way that we do it is just the perfect breakfast. This is ham, cheese, and egg, and some caramelised onion that we make ourselves.
Well, that's very good for the gut, but mine favourite is a crepe with Nutella and strawberries.
Yes.
Not so good for the gut.
Well, I mean, if it's only once in a while. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, Caroline, you have outdone yourself already here. This is magnificent. And how have you found the last 3 weeks? People have really engaged?
Yeah, it's been really good. This is actually our second time here in the Central Market. So we actually can see that we've been gaining momentum. And, it's been really good. We've seen some returning customers from markets around. We've seen lots of new people, and it's been good. Yeah.
Well, they are hugely popular. I just don't know how you can get them so thin.
Well, I've got my little tool.
There we go. Sorry, everybody at home. That's not a nice sound, is it?
Is that okay? Yeah.
So explain the tool. So that's...
Well, so it's just it's those little round, baguette-looking thing. It's got a round bit this way and then the handle, and then it's all in the wrists. So it's a bit of practice. It also helps to have very good machines that, whenever you do it. We use Crempus, which is made in France. So they're professional they're very, very beautifully made crepe irons, and the hot plates are cast iron. They heat up to 250 degrees more so they're very hot. And the little tool is just a very easy little round little wooden tool, and it's all in the wrist, a bit of practice, and away you go.
Well, Caroline, unbelievable. Thank you so much for dropping by, and hopefully
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Come and check out Caroline's amazing store, 3 Week Crepes, here at the Adelaide Central Market. They are absolutely delicious. Jade, you've just tried one. How good? Yep, she's in heaven there.
I just got the caramel crunch.
Yeah, yum.
It is so delicious. Amazing. Thank you so much for stopping by.
You're very welcome. Thanks, guys.
We are going to check out the traffic for the first time this morning. It is 14 minutes to 7 o'clock. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof-designed, manufactured and installed area locally by Luva House.
Crafers and Stirling, poor weather and visibility affecting the freeway, so take it easy driving through there. Newton, flooding on Newton Road near Clareville Road. Dry Creek, a truck broken down. Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road. And another breakdown at Beverley, Port Road near Kilkenny Road this morning. Cameras Elizabeth Way, Elizabeth and Midway Road at Elizabeth Park. The Woolworths online super sale is on. Save up to 50% off online. Visit woolworths.com.au for more information. Ends August 5 while stocks last. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, the Lynn Andrews team have made it easy for landlords to manage residential and commercial property. From single homes to multiple commercial holdings, our passion for property investment means we have a great deal of knowledge. How to do it safely and properly, matching the right tenant with the right property every time. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
At Austrac Campers, we never stop innovating. We listen, learn and adapt, making sure our campers are always ready for what's next. Built for the future of Aussie adventures.
Austrac Campers.
Happy birthday to us. Happy birthday to us. Wallace Cinemas is celebrating 75 years of big screen magic and entertainment at My Wallace Members Birthday Party. Members get movie tickets from just $13 all day, candy bar specials, and the first 75 members at each location get a free small popcorn. Celebrate with us this Sunday, July 13th. Wallace Entertainment Cinemas, Mitcham, Mount Barker and Noongar. Not a member? Join now at wallace.com.au.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on right now with loads of demo vehicles that must go.
They're absolutely overstocked, so why pay full price when you could drive away with a feature-packed demo model for less?
Plus, they're including 10 years warranty and cap price servicing with any demo car purchased during the sale.
Agostino Mitsubishi's demo clearance sale is on now. Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Hurry, stock won't last.
Shane from Drummond Golf, you've been busy turning good golfers into great golfers.
We certainly have, Rowie. We have the best gear for golfers at all levels. And with the price match guarantee, you know you'll get the best for less.
And you'll improve their game with Mini Golf Max, big swing simulators and My Match Expert fitting. You've helped me, Shane. I shot over 200 metres the other day.
What, in the right direction, Timmy?
That's the next lesson, boys.
Lift your game with Drummond Golf, Australia's biggest golf retailer.
Imagine clicking your fingers and bam, dinner's done. That's the magic of Local Kitchen Co. Their home-style meals are cooked fresh daily, using the finest seasonal produce South Australia has to offer. Menus change weekly, so there's always new flavours to try. And with portion sizes for singles, couples and families, there's something for everyone. To see this week's menu, search Local Kitchen Co. or drop into one of their 3 locations, Malvern, Parkside or Glenelg. Local Kitchen Co. More than just local.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Yeah, it's 11 minutes to 7 o'clock. It is Friday, July the 11th. We are just dining out on what we've been treated to. We are in crepe heaven.
That was amazing.
And what was the other little dish here that we've got?
So this was the savoury crepe, and that's got ham, cheese, and then it's folded over with a buckwheat crepe. And then Caroline's popped a egg, which is really runny. So you cut it up and then you dip it in the egg, so it gives it a really creamy taste.
And I almost spilt some on my pants, but it was it can be messy, but it was delicious. Yeah. So wow, thank you so much, Caroline. Free Week Crepes. Make sure you check them out here at the Adelaide Central Market. Now it's Meat Tray Friday. We're asking, what is the one thing you cannot live without? And that's off the back of you, Jade, leaving your phone at home. I'm now madly texting Ben to.
I know, and he's not keen to drop it in, is he?
No, he's not overly excited at the prospect. I mean, he's doing all the wrangling at home, and we're here, and poor Jade's got no phone.
I'm kind of living without it. It's not too bad. I've got the computer in front of me. I've got another little laptop, so I'm all right. But I don't like the feeling of it. It's a weird feeling.
It's a horrible feeling. Let's go to Terry from Kapunda. Terry, good morning. What is the one thing you cannot live without?
Well, being an amputee, guys, I find it very difficult if I forget to put my leg on, because I have this issue of falling over all the time.
Terry, I love that you've got a great sense of humour with that. Good on you, mate. Look, and it'd be like if you don't have any teeth, if you don't put your chompers in the morning as well, that'd be a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, brilliant.
Well,
that's a funny
That's a good way to get us going.
Good on you, mate.
You're
I love
in the running for the Barossa Fine Foods Meat Tray Friday. Let's get to the weather. There's been a lot of it around this week. Jenny Horvat has been extremely busy at the Bureau of Meteorology. Jenny, good morning to you. It's looking like the weather's going to be a little bit shady today, but tomorrow's looking absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that's right. Weather is on the improve. So we've got a high pressure system to the north. There is a little bit of a front clipping approaching Tasmania, so we could see that clipping here. So still the chance to see a little bit of shower activity around today, but not as wet as what we have been seeing. Temperatures today, we are looking at around 16 degrees for the city and suburbs, also 16 along the coast, looking at around 14 degrees for Mount Barker. It's currently 12.6 at the West Terrace Nidapura observation site, and we did see a minimum temperature of 11.9 at about 20 past 1 this morning. As we roll on into Saturday, look, maybe early morning, if you're up early, you could still see a light shower around, but we are in for a mostly sunny, dry day. That minimum temperature of around 9 degrees on Saturday, aiming for 18. Showers returning on Sunday with our next cold front, so a dry start to Sunday, but the showers coming through during the afternoon through there. This front's not looking as vigorous as the ones that we've seen, but still a bit more wind around and some showers to come, and a bit of a damp start to the week there as well, with some showers lingering, and charts pretty much on most of the days through there. They will be a little bit hit and miss though, guys.
Jenny, thank you so much. You guys have been flat out at the Bureau this week, doing a very, very good job. Thank you so much. Let's head to Sapole now. Senior Constable Kimberly Broad joins us. And Kimberly, good morning to you. 2 car fires in pretty close proximity at Dry Creek last night. Is this a bit sus?
Yeah, so the first one was just before midnight. Police and MFS responded to reports of a vehicle on fire, ironically, in Flame Avenue. Attending patrols located a Toyota Camry sedan was parked in the street and was fully engulfed when they've arrived. And it was just a short time later, just after midnight, a second car fire was reported in nearby Currajong Avenue. That one was an Audi SUV which had been set alight and destroyed in the blaze. Now, we've got crime scene investigators attending the scene this morning, but due to that close proximity of the two incidents, we do believe that they are linked, and we're just making further inquiries to ascertain whether or not one or two of the vehicles are reported as stolen. So anyone who witnessed any suspicious activity in the Dry Creek area this morning, it would have been overnight, if they have any information on any of those fires, if they could give us a call on the Crime Stoppers number 1800 333 000.
Did you say the car fire was in Flame Avenue?
Yes, I did.
Wowee, there you go.
Appropriate, perhaps.
Yes, it was.
Tell us as well, Kimberly, a man caught after a pursuit at Iron Knob.
Yeah, so this was about 1 o'clock this morning. We had Whyalla patrols attempt to stop a Ford sedan on Iron Knob Road after it drove out of scrubland with no headlights on, so it looked a bit suspicious. We did attempt to stop the vehicle, but the driver refused and sped off. And later in the morning, police attended at a local home at Iron Knob and located that alleged driver. He's a 21-year-old man. He's been arrested and is going to be charged a bit later this morning with a raft of offences, including failing to stop with police, driving unlicensed and other traffic matters. His car's been impounded, and so he'll be facing those charges at a later date.
And Kimberly, in breaking news happening right now, man will face court today over that stabbing in Eastwood over the weekend.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if your listeners are aware, it was an incident which occurred on Saturday morning about 6:30. We were called to Green Hill Road after a man was stabbed by another man. That suspect was unknown to the victim and fled the scene prior to police arriving. A 44-year-old man was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. But we had Eastern District Police attend at a Kensington Park home yesterday and arrested a 20-year-old man over the incident. He's been charged with aggravated assault causing harm, and he's appearing in the Adelaide Magistrates Court today.
Fantastic stuff, Kimberly. As always, love your work. Have a fabulous weekend, and we'll catch you again next week.
Thanks, guys. You too.
Senior Constable Kimberly Broad there from Sapole. Interactive as always, 044808 1395. Lots of messages coming through as well, Jade.
Yes, our Meat Tray Friday question today, thanks to our friends at Barossa Fine Foods, they're putting up the big meat trays, so it'll be absolutely delicious, is what can you and what can't you live without?
Yes.
What can't you live without? It's on the back of me forgetting my mobile phone. We've got lots of messages coming through, but we do need you to give us a buzz and tell us a yarn. It could be, hey, if you're a fisherman, you can't live without your boat. Or if you're a courier, you can't live without your car. 8223 50000. What can you not live without?
It might be you can't live without your footy team playing on the weekend or, something like that.
This is true.
It doesn't have to be something physical.
Well, Con has said that he can't live without feta cheese and ouzo.
Okay, I like that.
What a beautiful combo. Con's here. Hey, how are you, Con? Good morning. Love that. Come on down, by the way. We are at the Adelaide Central Markets and we're here until 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So come down. Con, we might have to go and get an ouzo together a little bit later. And I know just the stall. There's a group of boys here, a group of guys, before the markets kick off. It's normally on Easter, Good Friday. They get the bottle of ouzo. They come down. There's about 4 stalls that all come together and have a shot.
I love that. I play indoor soccer every Monday night and we play against an Albanian team, or there's a lot of Albanians in there. And one of the old guys, the father figure, he comes and he says, "Hey, Tom, I listen to you in the morning." And he gives me a shot of grappa. After the game sometimes. So I love it. Hey, let's give away a double pass to some movies. You can catch a movie this week at Wallace Entertainment Centre at Mitcham, Piccadilly, Mount Barker, Noarlunga. For sessions, visit wallace.com.au. Now, in terms of the best movies that are showing at the moment, Jade, there's 28 Years Later.
Mm-hmm.
This is the sequel to 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. I saw the first one. Haven't seen the second one, so got to check out that one. And there's also some other pretty good movies.
Yeah, Lilo and Stitch. My boys went and saw that and said that was actually really good. I thought it was a kiddies movie, and they said no, it's actually a little bit older and it's got some funny humour in it, which some of those cartoons can often have, like Shrek and all of that. So, get along to Lilo and Stitch.
Then there's How to Train a Dragon, which is a fantasy movie. This is, of course, off the back of Game of Thrones and other such TV shows that have been enormously popular.
F1 the movie, I went and saw this. This has got Brad Pitt in it. I loved it. So, on the back of my recommendation, which probably means absolutely nothing, go and see that. This has smashed it at the box office. It has grossed $4.7 million just this week. And I reckon there could be a sequel.
Okay, well, Drive to Survive has been huge in terms of documentary, and I reckon that's really helped Formula One, and this movie is proving a big hit at the moment. And Jurassic World Rebirth, still remember the original, seeing it as, I reckon, a 10-year-old in the early 90s with Sam Neill, Laura Dern. That was outstanding.
So that makes it only, 15 years old?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly. Good answer. Yeah, well said, Jade. Catch a movie this week at Wallace Entertainment, Mitcham, Piccadilly, Mount Barker, Noarlunga. For sessions, visit wallace.com.au. Now, to win a double pass, we want you to ring up 8223 0055. What movie is this from?
I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I've kind of lost track myself. But Ian, this is a .44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and would blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
A very famous line.
Pretty iconic, isn't it?
It's very iconic. 8223 0000 for your chance to win a Wallace Cinema Pass. Call in and let us know what was that movie, what scene was that movie from.
Okay, great stuff.
We've got a couple of our regulars down. Stacey's just rocked up. Con, love it. Come on down.
Come on down.
We've got all the comfy seats. We've brought out all the best for our 5AA listeners. I can smell the coffee brewing. The crepes are a-cooking.
In the meantime, we're going to take a short break. We'll give away that double pass on the other side of the news. Time to head across there right now.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 today with the 7 o'clock news. I'm Jess Adamson.
For the best price, quality and same-day service, trust Complete Windscreens. RAA approved, Main North Road, Prospect.
Police are hunting an arsonist after 2 cars were set alight at Dry Creek overnight. The first, a Toyota Camry sedan, was in Flame Avenue just before midnight. Minutes later, police and fire crews were called to Currajong Avenue, where an Audi SUV went up in flames. Police are investigating if the vehicles were stolen. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. A man's been arrested after a stabbing at Eastwood last week. Police and paramedics were called to Greenhill Road at 6:30am last Saturday to find a 44-year-old man with stab wounds to his back. He was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect, believed to be unknown to the victim, fled the scene but was arrested yesterday at a Kensington Park home. The 20-year-old will face court today. Details of a private meeting between Donald Trump and Kevin Rudd earlier this year are emerging. The President and Australia's ambassador to the US met at the President's Golf Club in January. Australia's former ambassador Arthur Sinodinos says there are several reasons why the meeting might have been kept under wraps.
Normally sort of discussions, between governments, presidents and prime ministers, ambassadors and others, unless there's something that needs to be disclosed, they're often just, following up on particular issues.
The Prime Minister says he'll carefully consider a number of recommendations to combat anti-Semitism in Australia. The Special Envoy to Combat Anti-Semitism, Julian Siegel, has released her 20-page report into the issue. She's calling for stronger hate speech laws and for universities to lose public funding if they fail to address the issue among staff and students. Anthony Albanese says the government will see what measures can be implemented.
We'll now carefully consider the report recommendations. There's a number of things in here that we are doing. There's a number of things can be implemented quickly. There are a number of things that will require work over a period of time.
The search for missing German backpacker Karlina Verlager will be stepped up in WA today after her missing van was found bogged along a track. The 26-year-old has been missing for almost 2 weeks. She was last seen in the remote town of Beacon, around 300 k's northeast of Perth. Air and ground searches will now be concentrated on the rocky terrain in the remote area. A man's been charged after a recording device was found in a bathroom at a Melbourne hospital. Kiara Parker reports.
The mobile phone is alleged to have been in place in a restricted staff toilet for some time before staff at the Austin Hospital became aware and reported the matter to police. A 27-year-old man was arrested on Thursday after police executed a warrant at an address in Heidelberg West. The trainee surgeon has been charged with stalking and use optical surveillance device and has been bailed to face court next month.
A Collingwood member who made a death threat to Carlton coach Michael Voss has been banned from the AFL, AFLW and all MCG events for 5 years. The message, which read, "I'd like to report 23 missing persons and preemptively report the murder of Michael Voss," was sent to the MCG's anti-social hotline service during the Pies' win over the Blues last week. The league wouldn't confirm the man's identity or job, but he's reported to be a Melbourne businessman. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Corey Norris.
Good morning, Jess, and the Blues woes continue. Charlie Curnow held goalless for the 4th match in a row, defeated by Brisbane by 37 points. Lion Hugh McCluggage says despite the scoreline, the Blues put up a good fight.
They still seem pretty connected out there with their chat, and they were throwing everything at us. You could tell their efforts there. They were matching us around the ball, especially early. So, we went through it at the start of last year with the rough patch. It can be tough. You lose a couple of games, you lose your confidence, but I think they're a pretty quality side and they'll be bouncing back.
Tonight, the Suns will do battle with Collingwood on the Gold Coast. Top seed Arina Sabalenka suffered a shock loss to Amanda Anisimova in the women's semi-final at Wimbledon. The American will meet Iga Swiatek in the decider. Australian Rinky Hijikata will play the doubles title after an upset win over the number 1 seeds. Hijikata said he'd never met his Dutch partner David Pell before the tournament.
I left it pretty late to find a partner for Wimbledon, and I guess it kind of just wasn't in my mind at the time, and I saw David's name on the rankings. Yeah, now here we are. It's been, worked out unbelievably. Australian golfers Grace Kim and Gabriella Ruffles hold a share of the lead after the first round of the Evian Championship in France. Minjee Lee is also in the hunt, 1 shot off the pace. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Corey. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there, Crafers and Stirling. Poor weather and visibility affecting the freeway. Take it easy driving through there. Also got a breakdown near the tunnels heading outbound. Dry Creek, another breakdown. Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road, and another breakdown at Beverley Port Road near Kilkenny Road. The REA will sure be busy this morning. Flooding at Newton Road near Clareville Road with the Canberra Burton Road Paralawi. Harris Scarf's big stock take sale is on now. Save at 60% off robot vacuums. Yes, 60% off. Exclusions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Showers and 16 today, mostly sunny and 18 tomorrow. Showers increasing and 17 for Sunday. More showers and 13 for Monday. Right now it's 13 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason Toop and Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients. With a history spanning over 40 years and a team of unrivalled experience, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
It's Christmas in July at Wayville Hyundai. With every car delivered this month, we'll donate $100 straight to the Salvation Army Red Shield Appeal, so your new Hyundai helps Aussies in need. Plus, we're inviting you to join us by popping a donation under our Christmas tree so we can pass it on to Salvation Army. Head to our website to see how you can help make a difference. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au and change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai.
It's on now. Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Shop huge daily deals in store and online. Hot deals on the latest tech. Save $80 on MetaQuest 3S virtual reality headset, now down to just $418. Acer Aspire Lite laptop with 16 gig RAM, now just $598. Save $350 on Samsung S24 FE, now $748. And save $70 on JBL Live headphones, now $178. Check out unbeatable one-day deals in store and online. But hurry, ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
Kangaroo Island. It's closer than you think. Wilder than you know. More than you imagined. This winter, get a free night on selected 3 and 4 night stays. Book your Kangaroo Island ferry and accommodation at sealink.com.au or call 13 13 01 today. Terms and conditions apply.
Matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
And it is 9 minutes past 7 o'clock on this Friday, July the 11th. We're at the Adelaide Central Market through until 9 o'clock this morning. It is really starting to come alive here. A lot of activity. It smells amazing. We're here because we're celebrating Bastille Day today and tomorrow. Of course, it doesn't happen until the 14th of July, but we're doing it over the next couple of days. We've already had Caroline in here from Free Wheat Crepes, and we're going to be having all kinds of activities throughout the morning, so make sure you come up and say hello to Jade and myself. Jade's already been dishing out food to everybody here. You're doing an amazing job.
We've got some of our regulars down here, which is so nice to see, and there's plenty of seats still available, so if you're in and around the markets, come down.
Come past.
Say g'day. I've been handing out some yummy crepes that we got to try. And
I've eaten too many.
Oh, no,
I've had
you
4.
can't have too many crepes.
I've had 4.
No way. I know, you got some on your chin, actually. We've got a champagne bar here. We've got kids' activities. We've got cheese. We've got, you name it, anything that you can think of
Cooking demonstrations.
that is French, baguettes. Come on down. We're going to trial it out. But let's go on to a story that has dominated headlines, really, for the last 11 weeks, has been the trial of Erin Patterson, who has been found guilty of murdering family members that came to her house, and she served them beef Wellington with the poison mushrooms. Now, South Australia, our wonderful minds here at our universities, we know that they do an incredible job, and they're, amazing minds. One of those doctors is Dr. Matthew Sorrell from the University of Adelaide Forensic Science. He's an expert there and played a part in this trial, and he joins us now. Doctor, thank you so much for your time. Good morning.
Good morning, Jade.
Now, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because there's still some details that are under suppression orders, but what role did you play? What can you tell us that you uncovered in this case?
Sure. So Victoria Police came to me with 4.5 years of Erin Patterson's mobile phone records. We want to know when she visited this area called Outram, and I was given otherwise very vague instructions. But what it boiled down to was I could establish that she visited this area. So it's not even a town. It's more of it's a postcode area, if you like, a rural area. But we narrowed it down to a visit on the 22nd of May in 2023. Now, I now know, but didn't know then, that someone had posted pictures of death cap mushrooms in that area on the 21st of May. I now also know, because I did some additional work, that on the 22nd she visited the town of Lock, where there'd also been a death cap mushroom field, and then she visited Outram later in the day. But until I'd actually given my evidence, I didn't have an address for either where she lived or where the mushroom field was. And once I had that information, I went to one of my very talented team members, Bailey Heading, and said, let's look at this a bit more closely and see if we can really tie up how closely these mobile phone records match to this particular location. So he's done that using a couple of tools that we'll talk about, and it shows a really, really close match to allows us to work out what route she almost certainly would have taken and how long she spent at that mushroom field. So it's really good insight for us to be able to take our view forward and have better clarity about her actions on that day.
And she factory reset several of her phones. So were you working with those phones or were you working with something else? Did you have to retrieve all that lost information?
Okay, so I was working with the mobile network records, so she's a Telstra customer. So I had Telstra records. The phone that she was using at the time is now the infamous phone A. So this is the one that disappeared off the network at effectively sometime between midday and 1:45 in the afternoon. I now understand the police were actually searching her house at the time. She received a text message, well, at least the text message was sent to her at 1:45 in the afternoon, but it didn't get delivered until 1 o'clock the next morning, and that was to a different phone. So that was all in the thick of it. That wasn't part of my evidence in chief, but it was part of the data that I like to guess.
And Doctor, just in terms of the work that you do, I'm not sure how much you can get into specifics, but how do you uncover all this kind of work forensically? How many man hours go into, locating all this information that you've just detailed for us?
Okay, so I've now worked on well over 400 cases across Australia and some international cases as well. The work that I do covers mobile phones, mobile networks, wearable devices like Apple Watch. I have a team that I've been working with, so some very young, bright minds doing analysis, software development. So it's a huge amount of work, but what we're trying to do here is really focus on putting a really strong scientific foundation under the use of digital evidence as it's used in court. It's interesting because things like DNA and fingerprints have had a lot of scientific research. Fingerprints don't change much over time. DNA doesn't change much over time. But your mobile phone you bought 18 months ago is very different to the mobile phone you buy today. And that's so we're constantly having to keep up to date with the latest technology and the latest changes to security and the apps that we use.
Doctor, I'd love to ask you, this case will go down in history. What was it like being a part of it? And And how, did you spend much time in Morwell? What is your role moving forward? Now, I said in the opener that there's things that you can't tell us. What does that mean?
Okay, so there's a number of aspects to this case that remain suppressed. So I spent 2 days in Morwell, which was a bit of a hike from Melbourne Airport. But I spent 2 days giving evidence in chief. I'm actually fairly used to doing this now. I spend a lot of time in court, effectively explaining how mobile phones and mobile phone networks work with juries. It's an area. That's a role I don't actually find particularly distressing. And speaking to the jury and helping them to understand their evidence that's gone before them, because the jury's got a really big decision to make in every case.
Yeah.
Most notably this one. So my role here, just to be really clear, wasn't to ensure that Erin was convicted. That's not my role at all. My role is to explain what the evidence means to the jury. Mm-hmm. The prosecution leads me through that. The defence challenges that evidence and highlights the limitations. And that's their job, and I think that, I have a lot of respect for that adversarial process, so working with the prosecution and the defence to make sure that the jury really understands what the evidence means. But Morwell was a fascinating little town. I got there on a Sunday evening, and they said, the local Chinese restaurant's still open. It was fabulous. It was a time capsule from the 1970s. I actually had I was only there for 2 days, so I enjoyed being in this country town hospitality. But I understand it was a bit grueling for the press crew that were there for 11 weeks.
Yeah, it was amazing, wasn't it? We spoke to Chris Reason about that. He was there, I think, for the entirety of it, as were so many journalists. And I think he said half the town, and you may have picked up on this as well, you may have sensed it, Doctor, while you were there, half the town were sort of loving the attention because, hotel rooms were full, restaurants were full, but then the other half of the town, I think, not really enjoying the notoriety. But as Jade just pointed out, it's a case, and you've worked on 400, you said, but it's a case that will probably go down, in Australian history. It was so significant.
Well, we've had 3 people die and 1 person nearly die from one of the worst ways to die, through poisoning. It's horrific death. And we really need to focus on bringing justice and closure for the family here. We will hopefully never see this perpetrator again. So, that's where we are.
Well, Doctor, well done on playing your part. I know it's your job, and that's what you do. And like you said, it's your job to point out the evidence and understand how those mobile phones worked. And clearly that played a key part, an important part in the course of justice being carried out here. So thank you so much for all of the work that you did and continue to do. And thank you for joining us here on 5AA Breakfast this morning.
Thanks, Tom. My pleasure.
Thank you, Matthew. The world we live in, I'm guessing that Dr. Sorrell will be spending a lot more time in courtrooms because, there is so much more being committed through mobile phones and through technology these days.
Well, that's it. I mean, because it's a tracking device, essentially, and he can speak to has spoken to the specifics about that. But, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's so important to understand that technology, which he does and does extremely well. He is the expert. Let's check out what's happening on the roads, all thanks to FIVEAA House. You can enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof-designed, manufactured and installed area locally by FIVEAA House.
Morning there in Crafers and Stirling. Poor weather and visibility affecting the freeway. Take it easy driving through there. And got breakdowns coming out the wazoo this morning. A breakdown near the tunnels heading outbound. Another one at Dry Creek involving a truck, Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road. Another breakdown at Beverley, Port Road near Kilkenny Road. Cameras this morning, Hillier Road, Brunella and Phillip Highway at Elizabeth. There's $1,000 to win every day with Sea Coffee at OTR. Simply scan the OTR app for your chance to win. T's and C's apply. OTR. Making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
Our hospitals are facing relentless pressure, emergency departments operating over capacity, and this nurse revealed patients are now being admitted into ward corridors. She says there is no oxygen or suction in an emergency, no privacy, no proper lighting, no showers, only public toilets.
Graham Goodings.
She says the public would be horrified. Well, I can assure you we are horrified.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
For 50 years, Sterling Homes has set the standard. As we mark our 50th anniversary, we invite you to share your dream with us. To celebrate, we're giving you $15,000 in luxury upgrades your way at no extra cost. Choose from reverse cycle air conditioning, stone bench tops, solar panels and more. Plus, we're including 2.7 metre high ceilings. It's your home built your way because at Sterling Homes, your home. Find your nearest display home location at sterlinghomes.com.au. T's and C's apply.
You could test drive a new Volkswagen Amarok from Barossa Valley Volkswagen, where the road winds through vineyards and golden paddocks beneath gum trees older than memory, where the air smells like eucalyptus along sun-drenched hills that roll on forever. Or around the block and through the shopping centre car park. At Barossa Valley Volkswagen, you can really test drive the Amarok, not your patience. BarossaVolkswagen.com.au.
Ladies, is the need to wheel the time making your life a misery? Caruso's Wee Less to the rescue. Caruso's Wee Less contains Schisandra chinensis, a fruit extract traditionally used in Chinese medicine to relieve urinary frequency. So if your need to wheel the time is getting in the way of your social life, try Caruso's Wee Less today. Caruso's Wee Less is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Well, now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason. Toop & Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for all of its clients.
Toop & Toop has 40 years of history and a team of unrivalled experience. They know what it takes to maximise your results for your property in any selling conditions. So if you're thinking of selling, now's the perfect time. Toop & Toop, Adelaide's trusted real estate advisors.
So visit the website toop.com.au or give them a call 8274 8588 for more details. And don't forget, you can hear more from Bronte and the Toop & Toop team on Real Estate Radio with Leith Forrest every Wednesday. He's so great. I love him. It's 8274 8588, that number again. But listen to him with Leith Forrest every Wednesday at 2 p.m. right here on 5AA.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
And it's 23 minutes past 7 o'clock. It is Friday, the 11th of July. We're live from the Adelaide Central Market celebrating Bastille Day today and tomorrow. We're going to be here until 9 o'clock this morning. But Jade, right now, it's time to talk to our next guest. And that means it is...
Speaking about report cards with distinctions, here's Ginnivan.
Tim Ginnivan on 5AA Breakfast.
Timmy G! Timmy G!
Oh, we love him. Absolutely love him. I'll be calling the game with him on Sunday. Port Adelaide and West Coast. Going to be a cracker. And Jade, some brilliant news coming out of Port Adelaide yesterday.
Yeah, Jace Burgoyne, 4 years, Timmy. That's excellent news.
Oh, g'day, Jade and Tom. Excellent news for the young fella. I think he's earned it, though. I spoke to him last night and said, a couple of years ago he was sat down post-season and told, you're just not fit enough to play AFL. You've got to go away and have a great pre-season. He did exactly that. And he's played every game since round 2, 2024. So quite resilient as you look at him and you think, God, he's quite slight, isn't he? And is he going to survive? But he just keeps on keeping on. He asked him about wing or halfback. He doesn't really care, but he loves either position because, he reads the ball so well. So I think he's earned that 4-year deal. I was probably a bit miffed that they tried to link it to Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller to sort of say, this is part of that arrangement to try and attract him. But I said Jace Burgoyne earned this on his own, and I want to make sure that that's out there and nice and clear.
I was going to ask you about that, Timmy. That was sort of the line that was drawn between those two, wasn't it? So we know he's grown up with Nasiah and he's best mates with him. So perhaps he might have a word to him, but they're kind of probably separate, aren't they?
I think very much so they're separate. And, if that connection helps a little bit, I think he answered it so well. I'm very impressed with Jace in front of the media. He's very mature, and he answered it very well. He said, look, I know he'll make the best decision for him, and whatever he does, I'll support him in that, and we'll still be mates regardless. But, gee, I'd love to have him right alongside me, yeah, for sure. And I think that's a very good answer, and I'd like him alongside him as well.
He'd be a great addition, wouldn't he, Timmy? Hey, what about tomorrow, the Crows game? My goodness, huge clash for the Crows, taking on the Bulldogs, potentially top 4 almost in the bag if they can win it. Going to be difficult. And, Timmy, a couple of surprise inclusions for the Crows that are coming in, Chase Jones and also Braden Cook.
Yeah, look, it raised a few eyebrows. Of course, Stephen Rowe, it was just sheer courage the way he crawled his way back into the studio and got up onto the chair and started to talk. So he wasn't that flash, let me tell you, but he was a bit surprised at a couple of the ins. But it is a crucial game, Tom and Jade, because out of the top 9, 8 teams play each other this weekend. And it starts tonight with the Gold Coast taking on Collingwood. Then Adelaide take on Bulldogs over there, GWS Geelong, you've got Freo Hawthorn, and then, of course, that's going to make the shape of the separation between top 4 and bottom 4 in that 8. And Adelaide, if they can win this actually will get them into that top bracket. And let's face it, I think they're learning, developing on the run. Finals haven't been around since 2017. So it's been that long. And what they need is the double chance, because you play 2 finals minimum. And that's what you need to get under your belt. So I think this is a crucial game to make that happen.
And you need those tough tests, you want those leading up and on the road as well. Hey, Timmy, I want to ask you about last night's game. 4 umps, and by half-time we'd already had 3 fall to the ground. 4 too many.
Oh, four's way too many. And we had Dean Margetts on the other night. He made a lot of sense. He umpired for 20 seasons in the AFL. He said, no, I think 3 is the ideal scenario for AFL football. And part of that is exactly what you just pointed out, Jade, is that there was one scenario, I think one of the early ones, where the umpire was watching the play around half forward. He then chose to turn around and run backwards. And I'm going, what are you doing that for? You can still run forwards. You've got plenty of time to see that and that. And it was like, what are you doing? So I think it's caused confusion amongst the umpires, and this is not on them. This is on the AFL. It's caused confusion. They've tried to reposition the umpires already twice in the last couple of years to try and get them not clashing with players. So I think they've got it all wrong. And I think we're just hoping Tom Harley and Greg Swan appointments will put some common sense back into the AFL.
It's a great call, Timmy. I was at a luncheon with Andrew Pridham recently. He's the chairman at Sydney, and he said 4 umpires too many as well. And I really liked his reasoning, Timmy. He said, you think about it, if someone has a job, they feel like they have to justify it. And he said, with 4 decision makers on the ground, if one umpire hasn't made a decision for a quarter because the ball hasn't been there that often, they feel like, I've got to get into the game, I've got to make a decision. So we get a lot of over-umpiring, in his opinion. And I thought that's actually a really good call. Whereas if it's just 3, you don't get as much interpretation. You don't have as many people thinking, I've got to make a decision to impose myself on this game. I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting point that he made, and I kind of liked where he was coming from. Timmy, just finally as well, Australia, New Zealand up against the British Lions. So we get some rugby union tomorrow night and expecting a massive crowd at Adelaide Oval.
I reckon it's going to be pretty exciting, Tom. And we had a couple of the Australia-New Zealand players come in. One of them's ended up being the co-captain for this game. And he stands at 201 centimetres tall, 124 kilos, and he is massive. And as we were introducing them before they walked in the studio, Sam Tugwell said, and next we'll have Lucan Salakaya Loto coming into the studio, and good old Brock Campbell as well. So anyway, the ad break comes on, and he walked in, and he was massive, and his eyes were steely. And he said, "Who just pronounced my last name?" And I quickly just dobbed and pointed straight at Sam. And Sam was, I would say, packing his dacks. And he stared straight at him and said, "Good work, you got it right."
I would hate to have seen the look if you got it wrong, Timmy.
You're not wrong.
Timmy, love your work. We'll catch you tonight on the Sports Show and again on the weekend with that big clash between the Power and West Coast. Timmy Ginniver joining us there for a chat about all things sport. Time now to head across to the newsroom.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Jess Adamson.
Chipped windscreen. RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
Police are investigating 2 deliberately lit car fires at Dry Creek overnight. A Toyota Camry sedan and an Audi SUV were set alight within minutes of each other in Flame Avenue and Currajong Avenue around midnight. Senior Constable Kimberly Broad says it's likely the 2 arson attacks are connected.
Now, we've got crime scene investigators attending the scene this morning, but due to that close proximity of the 2 incidents, we do believe that they are linked, and we're just making further inquiries to ascertain whether or not 1 or 2 of the vehicles are reported as stolen.
The state opposition has slammed the treatment of a 91-year-old great-grandmother who was ramped for 15 hours at 2 hospitals after suffering a stroke. Shadow Health Minister Ashton Hearn says the government must do more.
They've delivered 37 of the worst months on record, and it's shocking, it's shameful, and something's got to change.
The National Childcare Watchdog will review the training courses on offer to work in the industry in a bid to boost child safety. Certificate 3 and diploma courses will be assessed by the industry's Jobs and Skills Council. The revised qualifications are expected to be rolled out late next year. A 61-year-old Palestinian woman has been detained after having her home raided in Sydney's west. Toby Goff reports.
Maha Al-Masri, a refugee from Gaza, has been taken from her Bankstown home and placed in immigration detention after her bridging visa was revoked. The Telegraph reports the order was signed by Assistant Immigration Minister Julian Hill, citing an adverse security assessment by ASIO, adding she posed a risk to national security and failed the visa's character test. Al-Masri's family is strongly denying the allegations, calling the move cruel and unjust. The move comes as the federal government ramps up measures to counter anti-Semitism, including new visa screening proposals.
The Prime Minister says he'll consider recommendations to combat anti-Semitism in Australia. The Special Envoy to Combat Anti-Semitism, Julian Siegel, has released her 20-page report into the issue. She's calling for stronger hate speech laws and for universities to lose public funding if they fail to address the issue among staff and students. The AFL and the MCG have handed down a sanction to the man who threatened Carlton coach Michael Voss. Alex Riddell reports.
Collingwood Football Club says it will not tolerate threats of any kind after it was revealed one of its members was responsible for sending what the AFL has described as a highly inappropriate and threatening message to Carlton coach Michael Voss. The AFL has banned the Collingwood member from attending AFL and AFLW games for 5 years. The MCG has also issued a separate 5-year ban for all events at the venue. The person who sent the message to the MCG Antisocial Behaviour Hotline reportedly said, "I'd like to report 23 missing persons and preemptively report the murder of Michael Voss." It's understood the AFL didn't invoke a lifetime ban because Victoria Police didn't interpret the message as a genuine threat, but an inappropriate football sledge.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Corey Norris.
Thank you, Jess. Good morning. The Crows head over to Melbourne today ahead of tomorrow's clash against the Western Bulldogs. Matthew Nix has swung the axe on veteran Brodie Smith and Lockie Murphy, while Wayne Miller, Chase Jones and Braden Cook come into the side. Gold Coast is aiming to stay in touch with the top four when they host ladder leaders Collingwood tonight. Carlton forward Charlie Curnow has had another tough night in front of the Big Sticks as his side lost to Brisbane by 37 points at Marvel Stadium. The two-time Coleman medalist held goalless for a fourth consecutive game, but coach Michael Voss says he showed some promising signs.
Yeah, he's had a couple of weeks like that, and I think he's sort of been steadily building over the last couple of weeks. He was able to take some pretty good grabs, and some of the judgment, I reckon, sort of shows that he's working his way back into form.
The AFL wants Australia's fastest man to run at the grand final. Herald Sun is reporting 17-year-old Gout has been approached to take part in the traditional halftime sprint race. American Amanda Anisimova has upset world number one Aryna Sabalenka to set up a Wimbledon final with Iga Swiatek.
Yeah, I feel amazing. I mean, it's so exciting to be in the final here. And yeah, I think I still can't believe it in a way.
She's the youngest American woman to reach the final since Serena Williams in 2004. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Corey. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there, Crafers and Stirling. Bit of inclement weather at the top there, just on the freeway near Crafers and Stirling. Also got a breakdown to look out for on the freeway near the tunnels causing delays. Another breakdown, this one's at Dry Creek, Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road causing delays, and flooding at Newton Road near Clarefield Road. Canberra's Barramundi Drive, Hallett Cove and Burton Road, Paralawi. Prime Day is live now. Shop big on deals across home, kitchen, electronics and more. Exclusively for Prime members. Not a member? Join today. Hurry. Prime Day ends Monday. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Showers and 16 today, mostly sunny, and 18 tomorrow. Showers increasing and 17 for Sunday. More showers and 13 for Monday. Right now it's 12 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Ageism takes away my rights. The right to make my own decisions, be safe and be treated with dignity and respect. Sometimes people assume I can't do something because of my age. They exclude me, and I feel invisible and sad. Ageism can lead to mistreatment, neglect, and other forms of abuse. How do you treat the older people in your life?
For more information, search DHS Tackling Ageism, a message from the Government of South Australia.
Australia's landscapes are as tough as they come. That's why Austrac campers are designed to handle it all. From the rugged outback to the coastal wilderness, are you ready for the challenge?
Austrac campers.
When you think of single malt Scotch whisky, you might imagine Scotland's green hills, her fresh babbling brooks, and rows of oak barrels. But you can get the same feeling right here in Adelaide when you walk down the aisles at Powell's. Sam and Jamie from Parafield Airport Liquor Store know every drop on the shelf. They can guide you through Scotland's best whisky labels and the best from around the globe, all under one roof. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Powell's, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
It's high time to book your tickets aboard the Highlander, Steam Ranger's new service from the Adelaide Hills to Strathalbyn in honour of the town's 185th year. With 2 return trips departing Mount Barker, just 30 minutes drive from the city on the 1st, 3rd and 5th Sunday mornings of the month from June to November. Riding behind vintage steam trains, classic diesels and heritage rail cars. Before you ride the line, go online at steamrangerheritagerrailway.org.
Build like a brick house. Basic Trailers make quality trailers of all sizes here in Adelaide. Made with Australian steel, you get 12 months warranty and factory direct pricing across SA. Visit basictrailers.com.au. Basic Trailers. Basically better.
At Blackwell Funerals, we care about what matters most. When it comes to saying goodbye, we're here with compassion, dignity and support. Visit blackwellfunerals.com.au to learn more.
Recapture your sense of adventure today in the award-winning RAV4 at the new Jarvis Toyota Brighton Road, Somerton Park. With class-leading safety as standard, enjoy improved fuel economy with RAV4's leading 2-wheel drive or all-wheel drive hybrid electric models. RAV4 is in stock and ready to go. Come and experience the difference and take a test drive today at the new Jarvis Toyota, Brighton Road, Somerton Park.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
FIVEAA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Gee, time flies when you're having fun. I can't believe we're past the halfway point already. 20 minutes to 8 o'clock, Friday the 11th of July. We're at the Adelaide Central Market. We're here because it's Bastille Day. Today and tomorrow, there's a real French flavour down here, and we are loving it. So come on down, say g'day. It is absolutely stunning down here. A lot of people coming through. A brilliant place to come and do your shopping, have a coffee, do some eating, all of that. But right now, Jade, it is time to talk some federal politics.
It is. We have got our resident guru, federal politics editor for 9 Radio, Michael Packey. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Jade. Good morning, Tom.
Let's kick things off with the anti-Semitism report that was released yesterday. There's been a pretty strong reaction to that, hasn't there been?
Yeah, look, there has been. It's interesting what's happened here. The government says it's still going to be considering some of these measures that have been recommended by Gillian Siegel. She's the special envoy that the government has appointed to deal with anti-Semitism, or actually to combat anti-Semitism in the community. And that follows a series of incidents over the last 18 months since that terror attack against Israel on October 7th in 2023. And we only saw over the last weekend in Melbourne, there was that torching of that synagogue, an Israeli restaurant was stormed. So essentially what Jane Siegel is saying is that something needs to be done to deal with this level of hatred towards Jewish people in the community. So one of the things that she's recommending, and I have to say she's made about 49 recommendations, but the recommendations that's created a lot of noise is that she believes that universities, charity groups and even other institutions like arts groups, they should be stripped of their public funding if they don't do enough to actually tackle anti-Semitism. And she's actually called some universities a hotbed of anti-Semitism. Now, the universities obviously rejecting that level of that sort of language, and they're saying that they are working with Gillian Siegel to try and make sure that their universities and their campuses are a lot more inclusive. But clearly she believes that a lot of this anti-Semitism is festering on university campuses, and that universities themselves need to do more to tackle these sorts of issues.
That's really interesting, because I would have thought that, a lot of this is all online. There'd be online groups festering with one another. Yep. That's a big call to be pointing it at our universities.
Yeah, well, she's talking about universities mainly, but she does say that social media is also an issue, and that governments need to be doing more to monitor social media posts. She does raise that as an issue. The other thing that she's also talking about is giving authorities, such as Border Force, a lot more power to identify and deport people that have expressed anti-Semitic views. So essentially tighter visa rules. So essentially there what she's looking at is that if they're looking at someone's social media posts, maybe on Facebook or whatever other platform that they may use, and they've expressed anti-Semitic views, that they are considered as someone that doesn't or isn't allowed into the country.
Michael, one of the things that's been always in the spotlight is the relationship we have with China. And Anthony Albanese is set to spend some significant time there again in the next week or so.
Yeah, he leaves for China tomorrow as part of a week-long visit, and it is his second visit to the country. He's going to meet the president there, Xi Jinping. Look, trade and technology are probably going to be the main issues that are going to be on the agenda during this visit. But it is interesting, and we're seeing in the Australian newspaper this morning, Penny Wong, the foreign minister, she's starting to express some concern over Beijing's strategic ambitions and surging military capabilities, just as Anthony Albanese is about to embark on this visit to China. So Penny Wong is expressing some concern about the level of military build-up that China has. But I think that for Anthony Albanese, while he'll probably address those sorts of issues on the surface, I think a lot of this is about trade. Essentially, China is Australia, really does rely on China as our biggest trading partner. Billions and billions of dollars worth of trade change hands. But what I suppose is interesting is that while Anthony Albanese is making his second trip to China, he's having another face-to-face meeting with the President Xi Jinping, he struggled to get a meeting with Donald Trump, a face-to-face meeting with Donald Trump, as all of these tariffs are being introduced.
Is that a concern? I mean, I know he's copping a fair bit of stick publicly and from the opposition.
Yeah.
How significant is that he is seemingly, battling to get some face time?
Look, I think that probably privately there is concern within the government that he's been unable to get this face-to-face meeting with him. He's had, a couple of phone conversations with Donald Trump, and this morning we've learnt that Kevin Rudd, our ambassador in Washington, has also had a private meeting with Donald Trump in Florida earlier this year. But the bottom line is you want a leader-to-leader meeting. Now, Anthony Albanese reckons that he probably will get a meeting with Donald Trump in September, but obviously issues like tariffs and trade are going to be high on the agenda, especially when we've heard this week that Australia's pharmaceutical sector could be facing tariffs of up to 200% for what we sell to the US, which is, would virtually you could almost decimate that sector.
Yeah.
And also this week we had the Reserve Bank, they kept interest rates on hold at 3.85%. What's been the reaction in Canberra?
Look, I think that there was some surprise. I think that the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, quietly thought that there would be a rate cut of at least 0.25% that was made by the Reserve Bank earlier this week. And the fact that they decided to hold off, I think that did surprise the government, because it was also a split decision, and that's what we found out this week. There's 9 board members that decide on interest rate movements. Of those 9 board members, 3 of them believe that there should have been a rate cut this week. And the fact that there wasn't one, I think, was a bit of a shock to the system and a shock to financial markets and financial analysts who had been pricing in and factoring in an interest rate cut. Only very few people had expected rates to remain on hold. So the thinking now is that the Reserve Bank is waiting for more economic data to come out over the next month, and then potentially we could see a rate cut when the board meets in August. So that's when essentially homeowners have to wait for another 5 weeks to find out whether or not they'll get an interest rate cut on their mortgage.
Yeah, it sounds like that might be the case, and certainly the opinion of a lot of economists out there. Michael, as always, thanks so much for joining us on 5AA Breakfast. Have a fabulous weekend.
You too, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks so much. Michael Packy there, the 9 Radio Federal Politics editor.
Oh, Tommy, I can smell some yummy cheese.
I am really looking forward to our next segment.
I can see some champagne.
We've got Valerie Henbest, who is here, and we'll talk to her in a moment. Looking forward to it, Jade. In the meantime, we're going to check out what's happening with the traffic, all thanks to Luva House. You can enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Luva House.
Crafers and Stirling, poor weather and visibility affecting the freeway, so take it easy driving through there. Also got a breakdown near the tunnels heading outbound. Newton burst water main, Newton Road near Clareville Road, and another breakdown at Dry Creek involving a truck. Pretty slow there, Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road. Camera, Phillip Highway, Elizabeth. Flee the freeze and find the heat in Bali. AirAsia can fly you direct to Bali from just $219. What are you waiting for? Book now at airasia.com. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs in California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
It's Christmas in July at Wayville Hyundai. With every car delivered this month, we'll donate $100 straight to the Salvation Army Red Shield Appeal, so your new Hyundai helps Aussies in need. Plus, we're inviting you to join us by popping a donation under our Christmas tree so we can pass it on to Salvation Army. Head to our website to see how you can help make a difference. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au and change the way you Hyundai at Wayville Hyundai.
There was this huge spider.
Really silly place for a letterbox.
Seriously, there were cows all over the road.
At FIVEAA Panel Services, we've heard it all. But the one thing we hear often is, when will my car be ready? In most cases, we can start work straight away, thanks to our state-of-the-art workshop and highly skilled team. Ask your insurance company for FIVEAA Panel Services. With over 45 years' experience, we'll get you back on the road sooner. FIVEAApanel.com.au.
Some milk on our shelves travels further than you do on holiday. Not milk from Fleurieu Milk Company. Our milk is proudly homegrown, home bottled and delivered straight from the rolling paddocks of South Australia's Fleurieu Peninsula. Freshness isn't a buzzword for us. We live and breathe it 24 hours a day. When you buy from Fleurieu Milk Company, you're supporting our incredible farming families and doing SA proud. Look for Fleurieu Milk Company in your supermarket.
FIVEAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FIVEAA on Facebook or YouTube. It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
FIVEAA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Yeah, we are live and interactive on FIVEAA Breakfast, so you can tune in on the live stream. We're having such a good time at the Adelaide Central Market. Bastille Day, we're celebrating it today and tomorrow at this magnificent location. And Jade, we've already been talking crepes this morning. We've had a few of those, delicious, but we have really been looking forward to getting stuck into some cheese.
Absolutely, and we have Valerie Hembest from the Smelly Cheese Shop right with us now. Hello, good morning, bonjour.
Bonjour tout le monde. How are you?
No, I was going to say
ça va bien. Welcome to the best market in the world. Really.
It really is, isn't it? And it's been decorated today. We've got French flags, we've got beautiful flowers, we've got the baguettes in front of us, smelly cheese. It's just looking beautiful. Everybody, every market stall is really getting behind today. And you also just mentioned then, obviously Christmas is really big here. Easter's huge here as well. This is the third biggest day.
It sure is. It's just the biggest time. It's just so festive. It feels like the whole Adelaide Central Market is turning French. Everybody's putting a little bit of, look at you, you haven't got your stripes, but she's going to put her stripes soon, I'm sure. And you'll see tonight it's going to be absolutely packed today. People, they know that there's so much happening, you know. You can go and have your champagne. We're going to have champagne.
I think so.
It's never too early for champagne.
Breakfast of champagne. You ready for that?
Let's pop it open. Yep, we've got a beautiful rosé champagne.
Nothing like that sound.
Nothing like that sound. So, it looks like, the weekend is on, and what the weekend is going to be. We're going to do lots of fun stuff at Smelly. We're going to melt cheese, the raclette. Raclette, you can sort of practice that. Raclette. It's just melting the cheese on little
Valerie,
bit of bread.
stop it. I love cheese.
Is that a little bit like fondue?
No, it is different.
Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers, darling. Cheers. Welcome. Happy Bastille Day.
Happy Bastille Day.
Joyeux 14 juillet. And
Such a gorgeous accent.
Fondue is very different, Jade. It's fondue, you just bring 2-3 different cheese and you melt them with a bit of wine, with a bit of garlic, with a bit of something. Raclette is purely the cheese that you put under heat, and the surface going to really melt. And with a knife, you go and you put that on bread or hot potatoes with a bit of gherkin. It's just,
yum.
Jade, what's better than cheese?
Nothing.
Melted cheese.
Valerie, what are the most popular cheeses? Is it the hard cheese, the soft cheese? What are you finding people are really enjoying at the moment?
Here definitely the soft triple texturally decadent cheese. So we sell a lot of double cream, triple cream. People love that, which is also a good excuse to get your sparkling, because there's nothing better than the triple cream and a bit of champagne. That's a fail-free pairing.
So those two go very well on the palate, do they?
Absolutely, because the champagne is really cleansing your palate and you're ready to get more cheese, which is the end of the game, isn't it?
Yum. What have you got in front of us here?
I was about to say, this is the second biggest seller for us, and it's the number one seller in France. It's a Comté, C-O-M-T-E, Comté, and it is the cheese every French family will have in their fridge.
Right.
The one I brought to you, look at that. You can look, it's just amazingly beautiful. There's little white dots.
It's so beautiful that I don't want you to cut it up. It looks so gorgeous.
Well, I will. I'm sorry, little cheese.
But so how long would that have been sitting to be matured for?
This one is 24 months.
Thank you.
It's been really aging gracefully in a beautiful cave. In fact, it's not a cave, it's a fort. It's a Napoleonian fort near Switzerland, in between, France and Switzerland. And Napoleon, you remember, angry little man there. He did a lot for France, both good and bad. But he asked to build a fort there because he thought the Prussian at the time would invade. So he made this massive fort with, walls that size. He ordered lots of cavaliers there, lots of infantry and cannonballs and whatever. The Prussian never showed up. So this is now a beautiful place you can visit. Tom, it should go on your bucket list there.
Definitely.
It's amazing. And a man in the 80s visited that beautiful long corridor and he thought, constant temperature, beautiful humidity level. Today, if you visit that fort, there is 150,000 wheels of this beautiful Comté.
Oh my goodness.
150,000, just to finish it, do you know what it is like? If you put all those wheels of Comté on top of one another, it's not one Mount Everest, it's two Mount Everest.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of cheese.
I'm fascinated, it's a lot of cheese. I'm fascinated by the history of Napoleon Bonaparte, just all of it. Whereabouts, we asked our guest a little bit earlier, Caroline, whereabouts from France are you from?
So I was born in Normandy, which is typically the home of Camembert.
And wine.
And
delicious wine.
No, not really. Cider. It's Normandy is really.
Is it a sparkling red wine there?
Sparkling red wine. What is that? Do you know that is an Adelaide. That is an Adelaide invention. I think.
It is actually, isn't it? From the Barossa, yes.
But no, we've got cider. Wine goes a bit more south in France or east, and it's just the weather is just not really clement for us. A bit like the British weather, although maybe we might be able to make some wine now, with all the climate changing, but definitely a real cheesy place. So when I came here...
So it's in your blood.
Yeah, exactly. I think I've been fed cheese before I was fed...
Forget the dummy. Put a bit of cheese in your mouth.
Exactly.
What's your favourite?
My favorite is an époisse, which is the reason why I call the shop the smelly cheese shop, because it's the smelliest cheese. It's a beautiful cheese made in Burgundy, washed with Burgundy brandy. Usually I bring that in the morning, but I thought I might do something a bit different because I scare the hell out of you if you especially in the morning like that, you're not ready.
What does it smell like? Dirty socks?
Oh, I don't know if you have teenagers, but it's exactly the smell of their room after they just packed up a big...
But yet it tastes delicious.
And it tastes amazing. It's just the best. I mean, it's really...
That messes with your senses.
It sure does. But it's really the cheese that's going to stop you in your track. And when food does that to you, it's good.
It is.
Because then you need to stop, think, and just appreciate. And then you start a conversation with the food you're having. And guess what? You eat less, but far better. Because you take your time, taste, food tastes something. And that's the beauty of this market, because you find food that tastes something. Everybody here is bringing something that means something. It's cultural, it's traditional, and it's good quality. That's what the market is offering. That's why we gather all here and celebrate the beautiful food culture that Adelaide is able to put on for us. It's just incredible.
So over the weekend, are you combining cheese tastings and champagne tastings? If people are at home listening, come on down, and what will they be able to experience?
So, yes, there'll be lots of French cheese.
Yes.
Sorry, not sorry. And yes, we will have French wine and French champagne on tasting. We might also divulge a little bit of caviar. Did you know that France is producing caviar?
I did not.
No, so in Bordeaux, we have a new farm, not a new farm, but a farm that has been there for 30 years. And we have fabulous caviar. And we are just launching our caviar season today. We have tomorrow a big masterclass, but it's unfortunately sold out. It's a good problem to have. But we're going to do cheese, champagne, and caviar. So decadent
This one eats everything in sight. So you're just, you've had him at hello.
This is incredible. And Valerie, for those coming down here to the Central Market, where can they find you? Where do they
So
need
we
to
are
come?
at the Smelly Cheese Shop. Follow your nose.
And they will find you. Valerie, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Happy Bastille Day.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Joyeuse fête de la Bastille.
Au revoir, Valerie.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much. It's just a delight down here. There's so many people coming through. It is just a delight for the senses. So come on down, check out the Smelly Cheese Shop. It is just delicious. Right now, though, we're going to head across to the newsroom with Jess Adamson and Corey Norris.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
Our hospitals are facing relentless pressure, emergency departments operating over capacity, and this nurse revealed patients are now being admitted into ward corridors. She says there is no oxygen or suction in an emergency, no privacy, no proper lighting, no showers, only public toilets.
Graham Goodings.
She says the public would be horrified. Well, I can assure you we are horrified.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide. The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Jess Adamson.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer Complete Windscreens your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
Police are hunting an arsonist who set fire to 2 cars at Dry Creek overnight. Senior Constable Kimberly Broad says police were called to Flame Avenue just before midnight.
Attending patrols located a Toyota Camry sedan was parked in the street and was fully engulfed when they arrived. And it was just a short time later, just after midnight, a second car fire was reported in nearby Currajong Avenue. That one was an Audi SUV which had been set alight and destroyed in the blaze.
Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. The RAA is urging e-scooter riders to get familiar with new road rules and speed limits before they become legal from Sunday. Privately owned e-scooters, e-skateboards and e-solo wheels will be permitted on some roads, shared paths and footpaths, but those using them must follow the rules, including a speed limit of 25 k's an hour on roads, 10 k's an hour on footpaths, wearing a helmet and being a minimum age of 16. Anyone breaking the rules could be fined up to $2,500. The search for a missing backpacker will be stepped up today after her van was found bogged along a track in a remote area of Western Australia's wheat belt. Philippa Ma reports.
26-year-old German Carolina Vilger hasn't been seen since June 29. That was when she was captured on CCTV footage at the Beacon General Store in the remote wheat belt around 300 kilometres northeast of Perth, along with her Mitsubishi van. In a breakthrough yesterday afternoon, the van was found broken down and abandoned on a track in the Karoon Hill Nature Reserve, 85 kilometres from the town. There was no sign of Miss Vilger. Police will now be concentrating resources around the rocky terrain, with fixed-wing aircraft and drones searching for Miss Vilger from the air and SES personnel on the ground.
A $50 million federal education research body has been accused of spouting nonsense. It was set up to improve NAPLAN test scores in Australian schools, but is now under review after criticism from teachers and principals. Education expert Adam Voigt says the Australian Education Research Organisation tried to enforce a one-type-fits-all model.
A lot of teachers are saying is, well, that's great, if you're in a, kind of stock standard school that doesn't exist. But when you teach in a low socioeconomic school, it can be really different to teaching in a leafy green school in the eastern suburbs.
Dozens of construction workers have made it to safety after the tunnel they were boring beneath LA collapsed. They were more than 100 metres underground and almost 10 k's from the entrance when the cave-in occurred. All 31 are accounted for. Around 15 Palestinians queuing at a health clinic in Gaza have been killed in an Israeli strike. Those killed include children. Israel says it was targeting a member of Hamas. The BBC's Nick Beak reports from Jerusalem.
Smoke and screams filled the street in the town of Deir al-Bala following the Israeli strike. Crumpled bodies strewn on the pavement, where food was being given out for malnourished infants.
Why did they target a place where people went to get food for their children? Their children were hungry.
Benjamin Netanyahu insists Hamas will be destroyed, but that a 60-day truce is getting nearer.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Colours, custom design, any house, any style. Gliderol Garage Doors. Gliderol.com.au.
Hello again, Corey Norris.
Very good morning to you, Jess. Things don't get any better for Michael Voss. His Blues going down to Brisbane by 37 points, with Charlie Curnow held goalless for the fourth match in a row. Lions midfielder Josh Dunkley won the Robert Walls medal after finishing with 31 disposals and 13 tackles. Vice-captain Hugh McCluggage full of praise for his teammate.
He's awesome. There's no one that deserves a bit of credit and a medal more than him. I think he's just one of those players that gives that every week. He'll always be pressuring, always be tackling, and he makes our job a lot easier in there. He's just a beast, and I love playing with him.
American Amanda Anisimova has upset world number one Arina Sabalenka to set up a Wimbledon final with Iga Swiatek.
Yeah, I feel amazing. I mean, it's so exciting to be in the final here. And yeah, I think I still can't believe it in a way.
She's the youngest American woman to reach the final since Serena Williams in 2004. The Adelaide Thunderbirds will be aiming to keep its quest for a Super Netball three-peat alive when they host Sunshine Coast tomorrow night. The fourth-place T-Birds need to win to secure their spot in the finals. The British and Irish Lions will hold a captain's run this morning ahead of tomorrow night's battle with an AU NZ Invitational side. The clash at Adelaide Oval is a sellout. Rising Aussie golfer Elva Smiley is 3 under par, 3 off the pace after the opening round of the Scottish Open. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Corey. Let's check the 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there, Crafers and Stirling. Bit of foul weather up the top of the hill at the moment, so take it easy on the freeway if you're heading that way this morning. Got a breakdown to keep in mind too, just in the Tunnels heading outbound. Another breakdown, this one's at Dry Creek involving a truck, pretty slow too, Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road. And got a burst water main at Newton Road near Clearville Road. Early morning cameras, where did I see them earlier? Here they are, Midway Road, Elizabeth Park, and Roy Terrace at Christie's Beach. Set sail in style with Flight Centre's luxury cruise sail and save up to 40%. River cruises, ocean voyages and expedition journeys all on sale until July 27. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Showers and 16 today, mostly sunny and 18 tomorrow. Showers increasing and 17 for Sunday. More showers and 13 for Monday. Right now it's 12 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttyres.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
Hi, Brett Ebert here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. They'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. And your breakfast or lunch is on them. Your car gets the love too with their state-of-the-art service centre, brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, they'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Now, Wallace Cinema are celebrating 75 years of big screen magic and entertainment at their huge My Wallace members' birthday party. If you're a member, you get movie tickets from just $13 all day, tasty candy bar specials, plus the first 75 members at each Wallace location get a free small popcorn.
And Tommy, it's school holidays as we know, so there are loads of great movie releases for you to see for the whole family. There's Superman, Smurfs, Jurassic World Rebirth, Lilo and Stitch, How to Train Your Dragon, Karate Kid Legends and, my fave, F1.
I go there all the time with the boys at Mitcham. I live close by. I know you do as well, Jade. I just love it there. They adore going to the movies. It's a really good father-son time. I absolutely adore it. It's all on Sunday at Wallace Entertainment Centre in Mitcham, Mount Barker and Noarlunga. If you're not a member, sign up at wallace.com.au and take the family to the My Wallace members' birthday party this Sunday at Wallace Entertainment Cinemas.
Ladies, is the need to wheel the time making your life a misery? Caruso's Wee Less to the rescue. Caruso's Wee Less contains Schisandra chinensis, a fruit extract traditionally used in Chinese medicine to relieve urinary frequency. So if your need to wheel the time is getting in the way of your social life, try Caruso's Wee Less today. Caruso's Wee Less is made in Australia, comes with a money-back guarantee and is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
5AA Weekend Breakfast. Mike Keelan and Angie McBride.
Aussie Jordan Thompson, he's reached the top 16 in Wimbledon, as well as Daria Katsukina. She's playing as well, so so good luck to them.
Weekends from 6 a.m.
I can handle the tempo.
Yeah.
On 5AA, always Adelaide. Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Great song, and we're into the final hour here at 5AA Breakfast, Friday the 11th of July. It's 10 minutes past 8. We're at the Adelaide Central Market having an absolute ball. Why are we here? Well, we're celebrating Bastille Day today and tomorrow. There is so much happening at the Central Market. There's food demonstrations, there's music, there's entertainment activities for the kids. There's so much going on, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about that this hour. We'll also
We've been sipping champagne in the ad break. We've
having
been
a ball.
eating fancy cheese.
It's been great. We're also going to talk with Jack Lukosius this hour too, Jade. But I want to ask you, if you've got $200,000 sitting in your bank account, would you spend it on some old number plates?
Look, no. The answer is no. No, I would not.
But some people will.
It is unbelievable. Do you know the highest price ever paid for a number plate in Australia is $11.5 million?
Goodness gracious.
Unbelievable. It was in New South Wales, and it was the number one. So, it's a thing, and it's a thing here. It is happening this weekend. 22 historic SA number plates are set to fetch top dollar. What is that top dollar? Our next guest will tell us. We're joined by Stuart Kay, who's from the Historic Plates team. He is going to be auctioneering these 22 plates. He joins us now. Good morning, Stuart. How are you?
Well, thank you, Jade and Tommy, and good morning to you and your listeners.
This is crazy to me, but it's a thing, isn't it? It's a really popular pastime to collect number plates.
Well, over time, Jade, they've proven to be a fabulous investment. Apart from a tangible link back to our history, the earliest number plates, such as the ones we're auctioning at Historic Plates, are date back to around 1906. So they've become iconic, just like you guys at the Central Market this morning, one of those iconic South Australian venues. You know, an old vintage number plate on the front of your car, whether it's a clapped out Holden or a super duper new Lamborghini, like I was lucky enough to be photographed next to yesterday with the advertiser. They suit all vehicles, and they've been a great investment over time. Yes, it's quite a wild figure, isn't it?
It's amazing, isn't it? And tell us, which is the most popular number plate that you think will fetch the most money? What does it say, and how much do you think it could go for?
Well, the numerals, Tommy, so the number plates are just numbers only, are the original numbers. So they've traditionally been the ones that have been the most desirable. So back in 1985, I was lucky enough to attend the auction with my late father as a 15-year-old. So there you go, I've dated myself. And if you spent about $500 on a nice number plate back then, one lucky buyer bought a number. We've got 149 for sale, a nice low one. For $500, that number's expected to sell. The reserve's $160,000, but it may make up to a couple of $100,000. So that's not a bad return for $500 back in 1985.
So this one's already opened, and it's at a staggering $159,888, so just shy of its reserve. But it could go up to $250,000. Where are these from?
Well, these are privately owned numbers. We have acted for the government in the past, but in this auction, they're private numbers that were issued the government in 1985. And you cast your mind back, maybe you guys are a little younger than 1985, but we were a little bit of a country town, old Adelaide, back in 1985, and I did some research prior to coming on with you guys, and the Hilton International Hotel, where this first auction was held, was opened in 1982, and we had a new airport open, and then all of a sudden, not many years later, we had the Formula One Grand Prix, and the 80s, depending on your opinion, were a pretty fantastic time. I must say, as a young lad, it was a great time to be a young guy in Adelaide. But we got the Grand Prix. We have a new airport. We had the Hilton, and then the government for the first time issued these number plates. So the plates we're auctioning have been owned by enthusiasts or investors. And there's a whole new generation coming up who maybe weren't even born in 1985 who were seeking these out. So they're quite a great thing. And whether you're in Dubai or London or Sydney even, or certainly Victoria, these old number plates have been a great place to put a bit of money in and return quite significant gains as an investment to their owners.
And Stuart, I think one number plate in the past has sold for more than $2 million. That's an eye-watering amount of money, but I think it goes to the Chinese numerology. Number 8 is a very significant number, very lucky number. That's incredible. Back in September, this went for, I think, $2.3 million.
Yes, that was a plate that the SA government auction. They periodically auction these number plates, and quite a significant one. So considering it was the 8th number plate ever issued, and yes, very lucky. We have Chinese folks who love the lucky numbers, but then also anyone really likes to, well, if that's a desired number, I better buy one as well. So we've got a number of lucky numbers. We have 811118, which is sort of super neat and lucky. It looks attractive on the plate. We've got 88383, so again a nice combination. Then we've got things like I've got plate number 573 for sale, along with 572. So we've got a consecutive pair. So Jade and Tommy, you could have consecutive number plates. The reserve's just under 100,000 on each of those. And you could pull up at the office at FIVEAA and you could have 572 and 573 sitting next to each other in the car park.
I'll start the opening bid at $50.
Why are they, the customised plates, are they still really popular, Stuart? And what is the attraction for a lot of people out there?
Oh, look, the attraction is, I think, Tommy, that you can personalise your vehicle. Now, not everyone needs to spend certainly a couple of $100,000. If you wanted to have Tommy 1 or something on your number plate, the government has some options for custom plates or other similar permutations, and a nice series of numbers can start at sort of $90 to $100, and it gives you an opportunity to personalise your car, or people use them as gifts. I find I've got grandparents who might be very fortunate, maybe buying plates for their grandkids, or husbands giving wives presents for anniversaries and things like that. And I tell you, Tommy, if you went, I was at the Lamborghini dealership yesterday, and Scott, who runs a very efficient operation there, was telling me it sold out on the special $1 million Lamborghini that I was standing next to for many years. So we've always been a bit of a car town in Adelaide, and we've had car races going way back, of course, and everyone's got a garage, so we've always had nice cars. And a number plate's that final sign-off to a great vehicle, whether it's an expensive one or a less expensive one, just to personalise that car for yourself.
Well, it all goes under the hammer at Monday at 7 o'clock. Stuart, thank you so much for coming on this morning. It'll be fascinating to see what happens and how much money is raised for these plates. Really appreciate your time this morning.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me along.
Thank you so much.
Great stuff.
If you're spending $1 million on a Lambo, what's another $200 for a number plate, really?
Exactly, to personalise things and make sure everyone knows that it's yours. Now, Jade, this morning we're putting out the call.
Yes.
It's Meat Tray Friday.
Yes.
You unfortunately left your phone at home,
yes.
And it's a horrible
feeling. And my mean
feeling.
husband won't come in and drop it off.
He's been texting me saying, tell her she can live without it for a few hours. She's fine.
I feel lost.
Yeah, I know. You feel naked almost, don't you? Which, if we're in the Central Market, might perhaps bring the police along if that was the case. But we're asking this morning, what is the one thing you cannot live without? A meat tray is up for grabs, all thanks to Barossa Fine Foods, based at Shop 60, Adelaide Central Markets. Outlets also at Hilton, Noarlunga Centre, Edinburgh North, Glenunga and Golden Grove. Give us a call.
Louis says that he absolutely cannot live without his Hilux ute.
Oh, I like that.
Kind of a lot of cute little puppy stories being sent in. A lot of people can't live without their puppies, but what can you not live without? We had a very funny story from Terry earlier on this morning who rang in. He said, well, I'm missing a leg. If I don't put my prosthetic leg on in the morning, I can't live without it.
And he was very tongue-in-cheek, wasn't he?
He was
great.
Very tongue-in-cheek.
So give us a call, folks, 8223 0000. We've got to give away that meat tray before 9 o'clock this morning. In the meantime, we've just been talking number plates. So let's continue that theme and talk some traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed local area by Louva House.
Crafers and Stirling has still got some poor weather and visibility affecting the freeway. Take it easy driving through there. Also got a breakdown near the tunnels heading outbound. Newton, Burst Watermain, Newton Road near Clareville Road and Dry Creek, a truck breakdown. Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road. Left-hand lane blocked on the bridge affecting outbound. Cameras Main South Road, Morford Vale and Roy Terrace at Christie's Beach. When the lucky country isn't so lucky, luckier with Amy. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Messiah Wanganeen Millera is a lock for Port. Well, let's see if that one works out.
The Crows have thrown the kitchen sink. The numbers you're hearing are phenomenal. 8-9 years, 1.2 to 1.3. Some have even said 1.4 per year. They've got a first-round draft pick.
The 5AA Sports Show.
But Porter got the same. He's phenomenal talent.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hi, Daniel Talia here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. Sometimes renovating an older home built before the 90s is just not worth the hassle, time or the cost. Instead, we buy your home as it is and give you as much time as you need to find your new dream home. We don't charge fees, there's no advertising costs or commissions. We just make the process of selling your home easy. Look out for a letter from us in your mailbox or visit home.com.au. That's HAUME.com.au.
On the Cow IQ test, Fluoro milk cows come in at around 100, pretty much the national average. But when it comes to the milk our SA cows produce, it's unmatched. You don't need to be a cow Einstein to produce some of the best milk in the country. You do need the perfect grazing conditions, and the milk needs to be bottled on site and on shop shelves within hours. It doesn't get any fresher, any better, or any more SA than Fluoro Milk Company.
Now, for 50 years, Sterling Homes has set the standard. That is a long time in business. So, to celebrate their 50th anniversary, they're inviting you to share your dream with them.
With Sterling Homes, you get $15,000 worth of luxury upgrades your way at no extra cost. Choose what matters to you. So it could be reverse cycle air conditioning, stone bench tops, solar panels and more. Plus, Tom, 2.7 metre high ceilings, they're included.
Well, that is great. And what I love about Sterling Homes is they listen to your must-haves, they consider your nice-to-haves, and they work with you to create your ideal home. Because at Sterling Homes, your home. Visit their display homes across Adelaide. For locations, go to the website. It's as easy as that. sterlinghomes.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Hi, I'm Dr. Laura Willington. Understaffing in our hospitals is harming you and me. We urgently need a workforce plan to identify the right number of doctors for each of our hospitals and health services. And we need fair wages and conditions to attract and keep doctors so you can access care when you need it. Help make our health system safer for you and safer for me. Visit safermedicalstaffing.com.au. Authorised by Dr. Laura Willington, President, South Australian Salaried Medical Officers Association, Adelaide.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. Lately I've had a lot of people asking about the federal battery rebate. What it is, how it works, and whether they're eligible. At BJ Energy, we've done the homework. Our job is to help you make the most of the rebate while it's still around. So if you're thinking about solar or a home battery, or just have any questions about the federal battery rebate, it's easy to get in touch with us. No sales pitch, just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
And it is right on 23 minutes past 8 o'clock. We're live from the Adelaide Central Market, and it means it is time to talk to our man, all thanks to Harvey Norman Clearances Centre, cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. 919 Marion Road at Marion. This man.
Jack Lukosius.
Out they come, Lukosius! Great gift to Lukosius, and he dribbles it through for fourth first. Well done, Jack. That's quite an introduction.
On 5AA Breakfast.
It was so good to see him back last week. 3 goals, 14 touches, and a couple flushed from outside 50. I know it was a tough night for the side, but Jack, as you join us here from the Central Market, well done. So good to see you back. You were a real shining light in that performance.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good morning. Good to be back here after playing a game of footy.
Oh, was Mitch just like, oh, mate, thank goodness. Not all the responsibilities on me.
No, it was good. It was good to help him out. He's been great this year, but good to be back playing footy and also to get through uninjured as well.
Well, I was going to ask, how did you pull up? Obviously, first game back, you're probably a little bit worried, you know, how the body's going to respond and recover, but everything all okay?
Yeah, I felt great. A week before, I played Sandford out at Noarlunga, and it was really, really muddy. So I was like, if I can get through that, I think I can get through anything. So it was a beautiful ground at the Gabba. Unfortunately, we got some injuries early, so I had to play a few more minutes, but I pulled up really well. So looking forward to this week.
What was it like playing a full game, being a part of the pre-match, half-time, post-match? You got your first full taste of being a Port Adelaide player.
Yeah, it was good. It's much better than watching. It's been a long, 13, 14 weeks watching the roller coaster of the season that's been. But yeah, it was good to be back in the trenches with the boys. We got rolled in the first quarter there. We're under a bit of pressure, and we hung fat. So it was good to be part of it, and I'm keen to finish the season strong from here.
And Jade made a really good point. You and Mitch Georgiades, I think the assistants said they weren't surprised because they'd seen it all summer how well you two sort of seem to bounce off each other. 7 goals between you. I think that's something Port fans can really look forward to for hopefully the next 8 to 10 years, you two in tandem. It seems like you've got a very good natural understanding with each other.
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy. He's having a great year, so most of my work was getting out of his way. I want him to finish the season strong. He's, I think, second in the Coleman. So, he's having a great year, so hopefully I can, attract a defender and I can finish the season off strong with him.
Really disappointing, obviously, with Sam particularly going down with that knee, and also Asava and Dante. Their season's over. It was a tough night in terms of the medical room.
Yeah, 3 pretty important players for us. Dante's been our number 1 ruck for probably the past couple months. Sav's probably having his best year as at the club or as a footballer, and has been really damaging. And obviously Pep's pretty much the heartbeat of the club. So yeah, 3 very important players. So we say next man up, but it's not quite that. They're 3 important guys. Yeah. So we'll get around them and hope get them back next year.
What's the club said to you? I mean, you're in a bit of an interesting period in that you've got an incoming coach who's already made a few changes. You've just signed Burgoyne yesterday, which is great, but no finals, all these injuries, new coach, old coach leaving. What have they said to you about the remaining games? How do you play out the rest of the season?
Yeah, not much changes, to be honest. We're still sticking to everything we've been working on. Probably saw on the weekend there where not much went right, but we kept playing our way, and I think we showed that when we play our best, we can compete with anyone. So I think that'll be the plan for the next 7 or so weeks. Kenny's been a great servant of the club, and I think all the boys want to send him out the right way.
Yeah. And Jace Burgoyne, Jade touched on it. Gee, great re-signing. He's putting together another really strong season. 4 years he's going to stay at the club for, so a great signing again there to really, install his future and the Port Adelaide midfield. Yeah,
I think all the boys love playing with Jace. The fans love him as well. He's a Burgoyne, so he's been massive this year, and he can play a few different positions for us, so it's great to lock him in.
And obviously a lot of people have drawn the conclusion he's best mates with Nazaya. You're a player, a high-profile player that's come from another club. Gee, if you could have a quiet word and maybe get him across, it would be nice for Port if you could get Naz to the footy club.
Absolutely. He's a star, and looks like he dominated last week looking at the numbers, so I'm not sure what's happening there, but I'd love to play with him.
Be nice, wouldn't it? You can't say too much,
Jacko's giving me the wink because my husband obviously manages him, and we're like, Caro Wilson knows it all. Ask her. She's got all the answers.
She'll let you know what's happening.
Jack, we're here at the Central Market. I'm sure it's good for you to be back. Do you get in here? You like to grab a coffee? Do you like your French food? We're celebrating Bastille Day, so baguettes, crepes, champagne. Have you got a cheese? Have you got a favourite French food, perhaps?
Love my croissants. I've been to Paris a couple of times. My girlfriend's name's Paris as well. And
right.
I bought her here about a month ago. She's still living in the Gold Coast, so talking to the best part of Adelaide, the Central Market. So that won her over.
She's a bit of a foodie too, isn't she?
Yeah, loves her food.
Loves her food.
We spent a lot longer here than I thought we would. So, good to be back here.
So what's she doing on the Gold Coast? Still working over there? Is that why she's
there?
She's
got her own clothes business up there, so she's still living out of there. We're working on getting her across here, but it's all going well.
Yeah, good. And West Coast this week, obviously the Sunday game. You want to bounce back. I know you're going to have to make at least 3 changes, but important. Finals probably look like they're beyond the club now, but still important to win, particularly in front of the home fans.
Exactly right, yeah. It'd be good to be back in front of the home fans. I haven't fully experienced that part of being a Port player yet, so I'm really looking forward to this week. And as I said before, we will finish the season really strong, and it's a great opportunity this week.
Oh, jeepers, do you know the words to the song?
I will. I was one of those kids that knew every song, so I'm sure it'll come to me, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's hope that you sing it many, many more times. Jack, so good to see you back. We're just glad you're playing footy again and, bouncing around. You look fit and strong, so get out there and hopefully kick 3 or 4 on the weekend and a big win against the Eagles.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
See you, Jackie.
Jack Lukosius, what a star. Love him. He's a part of the FIVEAA family now, which we absolutely love as well. And that segment, all thanks to our very, very good friends. And I'll just pull it up here, Harvey Norman. Their clearance centre, cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs, and so much more. Scotty and the team, they do a magnificent job. 919 Marion Road at Marion. We're going to head across to the newsroom with Jessica Adamson and Corey Norris.
Introducing the Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Showers and 16 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Jess Adamson.
For the best price, quality and same-day service, trust Complete Windscreens. RAA approved, Main North Road, Prospect.
A man's been arrested after a stabbing at Eastwood last week. Police and paramedics were called to Greenhill Road at 6:30am last Saturday to find a 44-year-old man with stab wounds to his back. He was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect, who's believed to be unknown to the victim, fled the scene but was arrested yesterday at a Kensington Park home. The 20-year-old will face the Adelaide Magistrates Court today. Police are hunting an arsonist after 2 cars were set alight and destroyed at Dry Creek overnight. The first, a Toyota Camry sedan, was found in Flame Avenue just before midnight. Minutes later, police and fire crews were called to Currajong Avenue, where an Audi SUV went up in flames. Police are investigating if the vehicles were stolen. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Foreign Minister Penny Wong has expressed concern about China's military build-up just as the PM prepares to travel to the country. She told a gathering of Asian leaders in Malaysia Beijing is not being transparent about its nuclear and defence ambitions in the region. Senator Wong said it's another reason why the US needs to be an ongoing presence in the Indo-Pacific.
I talked about the importance of a region where no country dominates and no country is dominated, a region where, as I described it, there is a balance of power, which of course requires continued US engagement.
Anthony Albanese will spend 6 days in China from tomorrow, where trade and technology issues will dominate the agenda. Details of a private meeting between Donald Trump and Kevin Rudd earlier this year are emerging. The President and Australia's ambassador to the US met at the President's Golf Club in January. Australia's former ambassador Arthur Sinodinos says there are several reasons why the meeting might have been kept under wraps.
Normally sort of discussions, between governments, presidents and prime ministers, ambassadors and others, unless there's something that needs to be disclosed, they're often just, following up on particular issues.
The search for missing German backpacker Carolina Wilger will be stepped up in WA today after her missing van was found bogged along a track. The 26-year-old has been missing for almost 2 weeks. She was last seen in the remote town of Beacon, around 300 k's northeast of Perth. Air and ground searches will now be concentrated on the rocky terrain in the remote area. A federal education research body set up to improve NAPLAN test scores across the country is now under review amid criticism from teachers. Some educators believe the Australian Education Research Organisation is another avenue for government to intrude into the classroom. Education expert Adam Voigt says there are also issues with its one-type-fits-all model.
A lot of teachers are saying is, well, that's great, if you're in a, kind of stock standard school that doesn't exist. But when you teach in a low socioeconomic school, it can be really different to teaching in a leafy green school in the eastern suburb.
Kanye West is facing fresh allegations of sex trafficking, assault and stalking, among other offences. His former assistant, Lauren Pisciotta, has updated her current sexual harassment and unlawful employment termination lawsuit to include the allegations. The UN Children's Fund, UNICEF, says it's appalled by the killing of 15 Palestinians, including children, who were queuing outside a health clinic in Gaza. It says the killing of families trying to access life-saving aid is unconscionable. The CEO of Project Hope, the US organisation running the clinic, says they'd been waiting for nutritional rations and prenatal care. Israel says it was targeting a member of Hamas and regrets any harm to civilians. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, style and safety to your home. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Corey Norris.
Good morning, Jess. The Crows head over to Melbourne today ahead of tomorrow's clash against the Western Bulldogs. Matthew Nicks has swung the axe on veteran Brodie Smith and Lockie Murphy, while Wayne Miller, Chase Jones and Braden Cook come into the side. Carlton forward Charlie Curnow has had another tough night in front of the Big Sticks as his side lost to Brisbane by 37 points at Marvel Stadium. The two-time Coleman medalist held goalless for a fourth consecutive game. Gold Coast hosts ladder leaders Collingwood tonight. Australian sprinter Gout could be part of the AFL's grand final entertainment this year. Jordan Tunbridge reports.
The AFL wants Australia's fastest man to run at the grand final. Herald Sun is reporting Gout has been approached to take part in the traditional halftime sprint race. Already drawing comparisons to Usain Bolt, the 17-year-old has become a household name and is on the verge of breaking the 10-second barrier over 100 metres. He's set to compete at the Athletics World Championships in Tokyo, just days out from footy's biggest day.
World number one Yannick Sinner will meet seven-time champion Novak Djokovic tonight for a spot in the Wimbledon final. Carlos Alcaraz will battle American Taylor Fritz in the other semi-final. Amanda Anisimova has upset world number one Aryna Sabalenka to set up a Wimbledon final with Iga Swiatek. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thanks, Corey. Let's check the 5AA traffic.
Lynn Andrews Real Estate, experts in commercial and residential property management. lynnandrews.com.au.
Morning there, Crafers and Stirling. Poor weather and visibility affecting the freeway, so take it easy driving through there. Also got a breakdown near the tunnels heading outbound. Newton, Burstwater Main, Newton Road near Clareville Road, and Beverley, another breakdown, Port Road near Kilkenny Road. Carras Dyson Road, Christie's Beach, and Ifold Road at Elizabeth Park. Get the Ford Ranger you really want with great offers on select models from Ford Finance. Ford Finance issued by Angle Auto Finance. Australian credit licence 530731. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Showers and 16 today, mostly sunny and 18 tomorrow. Showers increasing and 17 for Sunday. More showers and 13 for Monday. Right now it's 12 degrees on 5AA, always Adelaide.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to get 25% off? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? To the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers. And get 25% off your cabinets with laminate bench tops. For a limited time, of course. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. The Excelsior Hotel has 20% seniors discount on meals 12 till 3 Monday to Friday and all-day weekends. The Excelsior Hotel Brompton. Feels like coming home, but better. It's back. Barnacle Bill's Bounty Pack. Fish, prawns, calamari, spring rolls, chips, tartare sauce and a 1.25 litre Coke for just $35. FIVEAA. Supporting local business.
Are you planning an event? Well, whether it's a stylish boardroom lunch, a coastal wedding, a festival in the hills, or a glamorous gala dinner, YSG Catering has you covered. A trusted South Aussie family business turning moments into memories.
From small meetings to major events, their expert team works with you to design a menu that's as unique as your occasion, thoughtfully tailored and beautifully presented. You can host it at one of their 5 stunning venues or let them bring the magic to you.
Known for their attention to detail and warm, down-to-earth service, YSG is the go-to team for weddings, conferences, festivals and so much more. YSG Catering, from the boardroom to the ballroom, from the hills to the beach. Visit the website yoursagroup.com.au.
It's on now. Harvey Norman 10 days of deals. Shop huge daily deals in store and online. Hot deals on Dyson. Save $614 on V15 Detect Absolute stick vac. Hot deals on sound. Save over $180 on Klipsch soundbar with subwoofer. Hot deals on TV. Save over $1,000 on 65-inch Samsung 8K AI Smart TV. Hot deals on fridges. Electrolux French door with ice and water now $2,472. Check out unbeatable one-day deals in store and online. Hurry, ends Monday at Harvey Norman.
At Blackwell Funerals, we care about what matters most. When it comes to saying goodbye, we're here with compassion, dignity and support. Visit blackwellfunerals.com.au to learn more.
FIVEAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FIVEAA on Facebook or YouTube. It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Coming up to 20 minutes to 9 o'clock, Jade Robran and Tom Wren with you live from the Adelaide Central Market. We're celebrating Bastille Day. We've already had...
great down here.
It is
alive.
So good.
It's really, really busy, which I know it is on a Friday morning anyway, but there's an extra buzz in the air.
And, Jade, we've already had a chat with Caroline from FIVEAA Crepes. A little bit earlier, we've also talked with Valerie, who is the owner of the Smelly Cheese Shop.
She just came over and picked up our champagne glasses and told us off because we hadn't finished our glass of champagne.
I know.
Love the way they live. Eat, drink, be merry.
Even if it's 8 o'clock in the morning, it's never too early for a champagne. And Jade, we're going to be talking a little bit more action from the Central Market right now because we've got a very special guest with us.
Yeah, Tony O'Connell from Central Markets Meats, from O'Connell Meats. Lovely to see you again, Tony.
Morning, Jade, Tom.
Last time I was down here, I think it was Easter time, I came over and I got a big... beautiful leg of lamb and slow cooked it. Your meat is next level delicious.
Very good. Yeah, all South Australian. Yeah, southeast lamb at its best. Beautiful. Yeah, even through the drought we're getting it. Yeah, quality of the beef we're getting through, the quality of the pork and the lamb is sensational. Farmers doing such a good job through hard times.
They are. How do you navigate that? Where do you get it from?
Well, we deal with the same farmers all the time, same people, same abattoirs all the time. South Australian abattoirs and wholesalers just know what we want and know what we need and obviously get the best at the best time and the best price.
And Tony, we had, I think, the coldest day in 4 years earlier this week. Colder weather, does that mean more people eating more meat?
Yeah, stay at home, cook up a storm, long weekends. Like 3 weeks ago it was a long weekend, people just buying lots of meat, doing cook-ups, putting it in the freezer. Secondary cuts this time of year are really good because you can get the cheaper cuts and do beautiful dishes with them, pop them in the freezer and bring them out during the week.
And what's popular at the moment? What are people really going for?
Beef ribs, chuck steak, something from the neck, ossobuco, lamb shanks, all that slow cooking. Bacon bones, ham hocks. We can't make enough ham hocks and bacon bones this time of year, which is really nice.
Yum, pea and ham soup.
Yes, yeah.
Being Bastille Day, something French, if you were going to cook something at home, what would you come to O'Connell Meats and buy?
Oh, veal cordon bleu.
Of course.
Chicken cordon bleu, yeah. Very popular. Made with fresh cheese, obviously, smoked ham, and either breast or veal rolled up, lightly crumbed. Yeah, just lovely. Yeah, really nice.
And tell us about, Bastille Day. We celebrate so many different things here. We're multicultural. What do you think? Like, it's just all part of the experience at the Central Market, isn't it, Tony? It sort of makes the whole thing accessible and, I guess, vibrant for so many different people to come and enjoy.
Yeah, food brings everybody together. No fighting, no hassling, no anything. Just put something on the plate and have a good time. And we celebrate different times. Next week it'll be South American food. Through the year we do soup days and things like that. Italian soup days, which are really nice. So, yeah, we have everything here that you need, every nationality you need, and like today we'll serve every nationality under the sun. Our shop is a very open shop, as you know, and we'll have people lean over the counter and say, Tony, can you cut it this way? This is how we used to do it at home, back in Brazil or back in England or South Africa, and we can cut it that way for them. It's a delight to be able to learn that too, so when they come back next time we can do that particular cut. But yeah, food brings everybody together. And
you mentioned before, you were telling me just off air, you started under someone who is synonymous with the Port Adelaide Football Club as your first job here. Talk us through that.
Alf Tabilka, I did my apprenticeship in the arcade where there was 9 butchers in a row virtually. And Alf was the boss of that and took me under his wing and taught me everything I know, so I do owe him a lot. But he's done a lot for Port Adelaide, and I have his son work for me as well, which is really good. So
that's great.
It's a nice connection. The guy that gave me a job, I can give his son a job, so I'm very lucky.
Isn't that beautiful, just families looking after each other?
That's right. That's all you need. A bit of fun.
Yeah. You're Port man?
No.
You're Crows man.
Yeah.
Well, you'd be pretty happy with the way they're going at the moment.
Oh, it's tremendous. Yeah, we get the boys through here and get a bit of meat every now and then. Big Tex comes in, gets a good steak, and yeah, it's nice. That's part of the market. We get to see everybody here. The basketball girls come in all the time, which is really lovely. And we got the British Lions here this weekend. Yeah. We've had a lot of tourists come through with their red tops on, so we've been throwing things at them, so send them back home. But no, it'll be good.
Have you noticed a pick-up in the market? And obviously today's a special, significant day, but we've been talking about the British Lions and Australia-New Zealand tour, and the influx of people coming in has been enormous. Have you felt it here yet?
Yeah, you do. You see it, and you see it in the little hotel rooms where they're fully booked out. I think 98% booked out this weekend, which is really good. So they'll go out to tea for a couple of times, but they'll have a meal inside, and so they'll get something, and you can tell a tourist straight away. They'll walk along the window and go, crikeys, how come it's so cheap? Their eyes light up, and they on holiday, so they try and buy the best. So they'll buy a good Scotch fillet or a big T-bone or something like that and take it home. And bacon eggs are always huge because they'll cook bacon eggs for breakfast and maybe go out for tea. Tonight will be really busy. Cumbia, CC's down our end, they're booked out, and it's really good for town.
So can I ask you about lamb prices? Because I read in the paper earlier this week that lamb prices could be on the way up. Is that the case here in South Australia? Have you seen that trend yet?
Yes, we have. Good quality lamb. And don't forget, this time of the year is probably the worst time of the year for lamb. We don't have our new season lamb now, so the numbers are short. We've had very bad drought. And as I said, the lambs we're getting in are superb. The farmers should be patted on the back. Bad times, hard times for them, and producing good quality meat. The price is up, which you expect when things aren't going their way. Probably the dearest they've ever been. But September, October, when that glut of lamb come in, it'll come back a little bit, but farmers have had a hard time. They'll have to restock, and if we get some more rain like we're getting this week and what we've been promised for next week, it'll help them as well. So, yeah, and lamb price up a little bit, non-numbers around, so go for pork. Pork's never been cheaper, and quality-wise, Adelaide Hills pork, you don't get anything better. Buy it on the bone, it's South Australia. The best.
What's your favourite?
Mine?
Yeah.
Rack of lamb.
You can't go wrong, can you? With mint sauce, homemade mint sauce and roast spuds.
Yeah, just beautiful. It looks nice on the plate. But unfortunately, we sell so many, there's nothing left at the end of the week, so I'll just take it home.
Well, Tony, you do an amazing job. Thank you so much for coming in here today. We really appreciate your time. Have a great weekend, and hopefully the Crows can get up here tomorrow.
Please.
Delish. Actually, we got quite a few messages from people that are on the road here. We got Sue in Golden Grove. She says, on our way to Melbourne, I don't know what I do without my mighty Adelaide Crows boys.
Yes, this is off the back of our Meat Tray Friday question.
It is indeed. And something else I couldn't live without is my slow cooker to put all these delicious cuts of meat that we've been talking about, because a slow cooker, you just pop it all in, turn it on, come back 6 hours later.
And it's done.
And it's done. It's easy. Don't have to think about it, and then you have yummy leftovers the next day.
Yeah.
That's another thing I can't live without.
And then you have your nice sandwiches and all those juicy flavours.
Yes.
That was Tony O'Connell from O'Connell Meats. Right now we're going to check out the traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed area locally by Luba House.
Crafers and Stirling this morning. Poor weather and visibility affecting the freeway, so take it easy driving through there. Newton, Burstwater Main, Newton Road near Clareville Road. Truck broken down at Dry Creek, Port Wakefield Road near Cavan Road, and getting quite busy for the drive-in South Road at Clovelly Park for the South Road Tunnel Works. Cameras Midway Road, Elizabeth Park and Target Hill Road at Salisbury Heights this morning. Got everyday rewards dollars saved. This week, use them on a Woolworths shop and collect up to 5,000 bonus points. Hurry, the Big Points Blitz ends July 15. Min redemption and T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
There was this huge spider.
Really silly place for a letterbox.
Seriously, there were cows all over the road.
At FIVEAA Panel Services, we've heard it all. But the one thing we hear often is, when will my car be ready? In most cases, we can start work straight away, thanks to our state-of-the-art workshop and highly skilled team. Ask your insurance company for FIVEAA Panel Services. With over 45 years' experience, we'll get you back on the road sooner. FIVEAApanel.com.au.
You wake up and you're feeling a bit off. Your nose is runny, but maybe it's just a cold. That scratchy throat, though, that could be something worse.
Test for COVID, Flu A, Flu B and RSV in just minutes with Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test. Fast, reliable results. Make the smart choice for your health and your family. Insist on the brand the healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. CELLIFE.
So, Tom, as you know, I've just finished a big renovation, and I have to say the team down at SMEG at Debney Distributors were fantastic. I got my cooktop, my ovens, microwave. Rebecca and her team down there were unbelievable. So if you're thinking of building or you are renovating your kitchen, you've got a lot of choices to make. They have so many choices down there. You can't go wrong. But the first choice should definitely be SMEG.
Well said, Jade. We've got an amazing SMEG showroom right here in Adelaide. Debney Distributors is in Dudley Park. Inside, you'll find the full SMEG range on display with everything from ovens, cooktops, dishwashers and refrigerators to wine cellars, kettles, toasters and so much more. SMEG seamlessly pairs powerful performance with architectural design.
And there's even cooking demonstrations. You really can taste the difference with SMEG. SMEG, they've also been proudly made in Italy since 1948. And their colour, design and technology is world famous and easy to use.
And they're our major sponsor of Foodie Friday. That's a segment every Friday afternoon with Stacey Lee, so make sure you tune in for that. It's outstanding. SMEG, technology with style. You can visit the SMEG showroom today at Debney Distributors, Harrison Road at Dudley Park.
Luxury doesn't have to break the bank. At Austrac Campers, we provide modern amenities, rugged durability and all at an affordable price. Comfort, even in the most remote of places.
Austrac
Campers. Hi, I'm Adam from Gutser. We've been relining gutters across Australia for nearly 30 years. Now you can get your hands on our DIY house gutter relining kit. This means you can install gutter liner for under $10 a metre. It's tough, has a 10-year weatherproof warranty, and it's 70% cheaper than replacing your gutters. Go to gutser.com.au to see the installation videos. Buy online and get the kit delivered to your door. Nothing can be finer than Gutser gutter liner.
It's game on at Hyundai with offers on new and demonstrator models. Visit your participating Hyundai dealer today.
5AA Breakfast with Jade Robran and Tom Wren.
Oh, it's gone so fast today, but the good news is we're going to be back again next week, Jay. We have loved it from the Central Market today. And if you love your food, be listening to Leith Forest today from just after 3 p.m, where Chris Jarmer from Jarmer's Kitchen joins him for Foodie Friday. And that's all thanks to SMEG and Powers. If you're building or renovating, well, your first choice, it should be visiting the SMEG showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with SMEG and Powers. So do that today.
And as being Friday, it is Meat Tray Friday, and we've got a delicious meat tray to give away, all thanks to our good mates from Barossa Fine Foods. You're only allowed to buy one thing from the Central Markets. What would you buy? Mine's Fritz from them.
Yeah, Fritz, I love that. I always go into Lucia's and I have to get a sandwich. I love, always come here.
I love their chicken salad.
Yeah, I take the boys in there and we always, and we get some of the meats from Tony. Look, the problem is once you make one decision, then you've got to make another 10.
When do we stop and
exactly.
Where do we start? But our question was, on the back of me forgetting my phone today, what can't you live without? And we've had lots of fun messages come through. We've got Bob in Seaford Meadows on the line. Good morning to you, Bob. What can't you live without?
Good morning. How you going, guys? Love your show.
Good, thanks.
I've had a hairpiece since I was 26. I'm now 76. So there wouldn't be too many people that's never seen me with a bald head. So that's why I can't live without it.
Well, I
That's
love your
great,
honesty.
because you never go grey either.
Well, Bob, I love your honesty because I take hair pills and I couldn't live without them, to be honest. That's my number one, I reckon.
Do they
Just
work?
Well, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, you've got a good set of hair. But if you didn't take them, would it all
No,
be gone?
12 years ago, I was gone. I was thinner than
Really?
this. Way thinner. Yep, I was gone.
We'll have to have a before and after. I didn't even know that. Good on you for being honest.
I think there are a few others that may use the hair pills as well.
Sammy's putting his thumbs up. Okay, well, good. Well, while we're all being honest, I went and had some Botox yesterday too, because I don't want to get old either.
Jade, you look amazing. You don't
Let's
need
go
it.
to Vinny and Grange. Hi, Vinny.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Good, thanks, Vinny.
My grandmother, going back a few years ago, gave me a watch, and I'm still using it now. But before she passed away, she always looked after me and my sister because Mum was a bit sick. And she reckons when you're having a bad day, have a look at it, and then you have good thoughts coming too. So I always keep it on my hand. I never take it without, everywhere I go, I've got it with me all the time.
What a great story. I love that
That's precious.
sentimental stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, my grandma, this ring that I've got on my right hand, Jade, my grandma gave that to me as my 21st present. So, yeah, it's always a nice reminder of Grandma, who's since passed away in the last few years.
That's really precious.
Yeah, it's nice to have that sentimental stuff. So, lovely call, Vinny.
Let's go to Dave in South Brighton. Good morning, Dave.
Morning, guys. One thing that I cannot live without, and that explains why I listen to Talkback Radio as well, I cannot be by myself. So I must have people to talk to, listen to. Yeah, I can't use the self-serve checkout. If I'm by myself for more than 4 or 5 hours, I'm looking for someone to talk to. So I would really miss interacting with people.
Good on you, Dave. Yeah, I love that. So you just like to have people in your life, and I think a lot of people are like that. Some like to be a bit more on their own, but I think it's nice to be interacting with people.
Yeah, I'm with Dave. If I'm ever at home, I'll put Talkback Radio on. I'll listen to 5AA just in the background. It just feels like you got some mates in the room. You're not alone. You just got someone talking to you.
And then every now and then you can go, I don't agree with that, or
yes,
I'm
you
with
can
you
have
there.
an argument with the radio.
Exactly. Now, let's check out the fuel watch out there. Don't get stuck on the side of the road. Get RAA road service. So let's check out diesel and unleaded. The Shell at OTR Angle Park has unleaded for $1.57.9. The United on South Road at Melrose Park is $1.53.5. Goodness, that is really good going. And the Mobil at North East Road at Hampstead Gardens is $1.54.5. Cheapest diesel, OTR on Grand Junction Road at Mansfield Park, $1.64.9. Some great calls this morning for Meat Tray Friday, all thanks to Barossa Fine Foods. Jade, I've left it to you to decide our winner.
I'm going to go Terry is our winner. The first caller this morning who can't live without his leg.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair, and he was
He
very
made me
funny.
laugh very early on. He had a very good spirit. So, Terry, all thanks to our good mates at Barossa Fine Foods, you are walking away with $150 worth of their delicious French-inspired meats, if you so choose. You can get on the Bastille Day bandwagon, and you can find the team at Shop 60 Adelaide Central Markets. They've also got outlets at Hilton, Noarlunga Centre, Edinburgh North, Glenunga, and also Golden Grove.
We're just about done for this morning, but we are Jade.
Do you know, I said I love their frites. I do
Yes.
love their frites. And we've had a few people ring in about what they like to have with their frites. Frites and Vegemite. So Tom earlier in the show said he loves frites with fried bread dipped in milk. I'm sorry, but no, that's just not on.
I'm going to bring it in for you, and you're going to love it.
Yeah, okay. No, that's just not going to happen.
Much on this weekend?
I'm off to KI in a minute.
Oh, first time ever?
Yes, I've got the 12 o'clock ferry, so I'm really hoping that the weather's good out there. It looks like it's fine. But yeah, I'm on the 12 o'clock ferry, heading over there with my son Harry. We'll try and do some fishing, and then we're back again tomorrow.
Well, on Monday, I cannot wait to get your report card as to your first visit in KI. So
Probably sitting on the couch drinking lots of red wine.
That's fine. Well, we're going to be back again next week, Jade. Looking forward to it. In the meantime, make sure you pop into the Adelaide Central Market over the next 2 days, Friday and Saturday tomorrow, which is the 12th of July, celebrating Bastille Day celebrations, and it's got something for everyone. Highlights, free live music, cooking demonstrations, kids craft, a crepe pop-up stall, champagne bar, guided tours, and so much much more. Jade, it's been a pleasure as always.
It's been a beautiful morning down here. It's decorated in all the beautiful French colours. You can smell all the crepes in the air. Please do come down if you can, because there's a great vibe. Everyone's up and about and really good entertainment happening tonight. I think they've got some opera, some classical music. Of course, it's school holidays, which I don't know about you, but I'm always being asked, what are we doing today, Mum? Where are we going? This is a good day to come down. There's a beautiful chocolate fountain over there.
Yep.
Feed the kids some sugar and watch them run around and enjoy their time down here at the Adelaide Central Markets.
Come and check it out, and make sure you tune in over the weekend. We've got the Crows and Bulldogs tomorrow, Port and West Coast on Sunday, so much more as well. But stick around, Graham Goodings is coming up next with Mornings. For now, though, from the Adelaide Central Market, it's goodbye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. We'll see you on Monday, back on 5AA Breakfast.
Coming up next on 5AA, the stories that matter to Adelaide with 5AA.